Chapter 1889. Dowda was more than happy to complete this task, and a bright smile was plastered on his little face. He replied, "Okay. Mother, is it a boy or a girl?" Before choosing a name, Dowda first asked about the gender. Only after determining the gender could they choose a name that was more appropriate. Zhao Yun glanced down at the kitten, and then replied to Dowda, "It's a girl." Dowda stared at Zhao Yun in surprise, and asked, "Mother, how can you tell if it's a boy or a girl just by looking at it?" "How can you tell?" "This." Zhao Yun didn't know how to explain it to Dowda. Come to think of it, it really was a dirty thing. This little thing was similar to a human, so it could be differentiated based on the person. Male cats would grow a little penis, while female cats wouldn't. Could it be that she was going to educate a 3-year-old child about sex? "What's wrong, Mother?" Dowda blinked his big eyes and asked. Zhao Yun smiled and patted Dowda's head. "Yes, Dowda will understand when he grows up." "Really?" Yes. Dowda thought for a while, and didn't pursue the topic any further. Instead, he thought about what name to give the kitten. "Mother, look at the fur on its body. It's a flower. Why don't we call it Little Flower?" Zhao Yun was amused by this name. It was really arbitrary. Just like Little Black, it was named according to its fur. There was no need to be so particular about it. However, there was a good saying, the more vulgar, the more elegant. Although the name was a little simple, it was very suitable for the kitten. It was easy to remember. "Okay, we'll call it Little Flower, just like Dowda." Dowda's big eyes blinked a few times. "Mother, really?" "Of course." Dowda had a satisfied smile on his face. He hugged the kitten in his arms and shouted, Little Flower, your name is Little Flower from now on. Do you want to remember?" The kitten didn't respond, but it rubbed its head against Dowda's palm a few times. Hee, Mother, look, Little Blossom seems to like this name too." "Yeah. Mother, why don't we build a nest for it?" Zhao Yun'er thought about it and felt that it was indeed necessary. This kitten cub was too small, so he had to take good care of it. Otherwise, he didn't know if there would be any accidents and he couldn't raise it. Like a flower in a greenhouse, it must be taken good care of. "All right," Zhao Yun'er said and took out a small wooden basin. She put some straw in the small wooden basin and then put a piece of rag in it. The wooden basin became very soft. Dowda carefully placed Little Blossom in the wooden basin. "Mother, Little Blossom looks so cute." Dowda hid in the wooden basin. He couldn't bear to look away from Little Blossom. Little Black put down the garland in his hand and walked over to the wooden basin. Little Black was probably curious about this new species. He stretched his nose and sniffed. Dowda patted Little Black's head and said, "Little Black, you can't hurt Little Blossom. You're the older brother. You have to take good care of your sister, okay? Just like how I take care of little sister Xiao Xiao." Little Black seemed to understand Dowda's words. He lowered his head and whimpered a few times. Chapter 1890. When Zhao Yun saw this scene, she wanted to laugh. It was the same as what parents would say to their older child when they had a second child in the 21st century. Dowda was only 3 years old, yet he could say something like this. His little head must be extremely smart, right? When Little Hay heard Dowda's words, he licked Dowda's little finger and whimpered a few times. Hee. In the future, Little Blossom will accompany Little Hay. You guys will be very happy together. Dowda laughed. Zhao Yun thought that under normal circumstances, cats and dogs wouldn't get along well, but there were exceptions. In the future, she would raise both dogs and cats at home. She hoped that the cats and dogs would get along well, so that they wouldn't cause trouble. "Okay, Dowda, let Little Blossom sleep for a while. She needs to rest," Zhao Yun reminded. "Okay, Mother," Dowda replied sweetly. When she saw Dowda playing outside, Zhao Yun came back with a basin of cold water. She washed Daodu's hands first. Touching animals like kittens and puppies was the easiest way to breed bacteria. Children also like to put their hands in their mouths. In the afternoon, Zhao Yun began to make zongzi with her family. Making zongzi wasn't Zhao Yun's specialty. When she was in the 21st century, her mother usually made zongzi well. Every time the Dragon Boat Festival came, the zongzi at home couldn't be finished. Other than the zongzi made by their own family, their relatives would also give them some. Therefore, she didn't need to spend time making zongzi. Compared to the big zongzi leaves that she bought in the 21st century, the ones that Zhao Yun bought this time were much smaller. Zhao Yun saw old Madame Liang skillfully stack 2 leaves together, then bend them into an arc and stuff the glutinous rice inside. Zhao Yun copied old Madame Liang's way of wrapping zongzi. Although she could also wrap zongzi, her zongzi was a bit ugly compared to old Madame Liang. She definitely couldn't give the food away. She would keep it for herself because she really couldn't afford to give it away. The candied dates and salted meat zongzi were separated. Zhao Yun'er tied a red string to make a mark. Later, she would eat salted meat dumplings. As for the other dumplings, they could eat whatever they liked. After a while, Zhao Yun'er's basket was filled with zongzi. Zhao Yun counted, there are really a lot of bags. There are more than 200. Although it was a little small, it was still quite a lot. He had to send 20 over to Zhao Ping to let him have a taste. Previously, Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua had discussed with her about sending some to Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua. Although they had separated from the family, Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua were still Zhao Wenhua's parents. They should be filial to them during the new year. As for her uncles, she was going to send some to the 2nd and 4th branches, but she had already sent some to the other branches. It wasn't good to leave out the 1st branch, so she might as well send some to everyone. However, she couldn't send too many. At most, each branch could only send 15. There were only about 100 zongzi left. With so many people in the family, they could probably finish it. Zongzi weren't like other things. They could be preserved for a period of time without spoiling. Unlike other things, they would definitely spoil after being left for so many days. With the 3 of us, it didn't take us long to finish wrapping more than 200 zongzi. Old Madame Liang laughed with a satisfied smile on her face. Zhao Yun flattered, Grandma is still the best. You made so many by yourself. And you made the most beautiful ones. Chapter 1891. Old Madame Liang was very happy with Zhao Yun's flattery. She smiled at Zhao Yun and said, You girl, it's easy to make people happy with your words. It's just making zongzi. Grandma is not as good as you say. You almost praised me to the heavens. Looking at the smile on old Madame Liang's face, Zhao Yun was very satisfied. Grandma, let's go cook zongzi. Okay. Zhao Yun moved these zongzi to the kitchen and boiled water in a big pot. Now that there was a lot of wood in the house, a pile of firewood in the kitchen, a pot of water boiled in a short time. The zongzi were cooked in the pot for more than 10 minutes. She quickly scooped them up and continued to cook the rest. After cooking a total of 3 zongzi, 200 zongzi were cooked. Mother, it smells so good. Daoda smelled the fragrance of the zongzi and couldn't wait to get close to Zhao Yun, wanting to eat one. Speaking of which, Daoda hasn't eaten zongzi since he was old. Before, when the original owner took Daoda, the family was too poor to buy glutinous rice to make zongzi. Now that her soul crossed over, the days slowly got better. This year's Dragon Boat Festival, she still had money to buy glutinous rice to make zongzi. Zhao Yun smiled, took out a zongzi and soaked it in cold water. She was afraid that it would be too hot and burn Daoda's mouth. Waiting for the zongzi to cool down, Zhao Yun gently peeled off the zongzi leaves. A fragrant smell of zongzi leaves drilled into Zhao Yun's nostrils. The fragrance of zongzi was mixed with the fragrance of bacon. Just smelling this smell, people couldn't help but swallow a few mouthfuls of saliva into their stomachs. They were really hungry. It really smells so good. Daoda's eyes stared at the zongzi in Zhao Yun's hand. He couldn't wait to eat it immediately. Zhao Yun wanted to laugh, but she felt that Daoda's life was too pitiful. This child had suffered a lot with the original owner. Come on, it's time to eat. Be careful, don't choke. Zhao Yun warned. Yes, yes. Daoda held the dumplings and started eating. However, her mouth was not as big as a rice dumpling, so when she ate, her whole mouth was covered in glutinous rice. Daoda, on the other hand, didn't feel uncomfortable at all. He continued to spoil the dumplings and nibble on them while praising them in satisfaction. Mother, it's so delicious. No wonder so many people like to eat zongzi. It turns out that zongzi are really delicious. Soon, Daoda finished a dumpling. Zhao Yun'er asked, have you had enough? Do you want another one? Daoda nodded shyly. Yes, I want more. Okay, then I'll peel another one for you. Zhao Yun'er took out another one without hesitation. Seeing Daoda eat with satisfaction, the smile on Zhao Yun'er's face became more and more blissful. However, she was afraid that Daoda's stomach would be too full, so Zhao Yun'er only gave him 2 to eat. Daoda licked his small hands as if he still hadn't had enough. After all the zongzi were cooked, Zhao Yun called the family to eat as well. Although zongzi weren't very delicious, they always gave people a very strange feeling. Perhaps in addition to being a delicacy, it represented the meaning of the Dragon Boat Festival. Zhao Yun'er ate 3 in one go. She was afraid that if she ate too much, she wouldn't be able to eat at night, so she deliberately restrained herself. Zhao Wenhua, on the other hand, had a big appetite. She ate 8 in one go and didn't feel full. Chapter 1892. After being reminded by Liang Jinxiao, Zhao Wenhua realized that he had eaten 8 dumplings in one go. Zhao Wenhua smiled bitterly. He looked very shy and embarrassed. He felt that he had eaten too much in one go. Well, Yun'er's mother, I've never eaten such delicious dumplings in all my decades of life. I've eaten 8 of them before I knew it. Liang Jinxiao was amused by Zhao Wenhua, but he agreed with Zhao Wenhua's words very much. She also felt that these were the best dumplings she had eaten in decades. The glutinous rice was fresh and of the best quality, unlike the old glutinous rice they used to make dumplings. Moreover, they only used white rice to make dumplings before. They didn't use bacon today, so the taste was naturally different. It's fine. It's fine if you eat more. I'm just afraid that your stomach will swell. Zhao Wenhua touched his stomach and smiled. He replied, okay, then I won't eat any more. If I eat more, I might really swell. Okay. Liang Jinxiao replied. When Zhao Yun was about to send the dumplings to old Zhao's house, Mu Lianfeng and Mo Yen came down from the mountain. As soon as Mo Yen walked into Zhao Yun'er's house, he took a deep breath. Wow, it smells so good. It's the smell of dumplings. When he was at home, his parents would make dumplings for him every year during the Dragon Boat Festival. This year, he had a mission and couldn't go out, so he didn't get to eat dumplings. As soon as he smelled the familiar fragrance, Mo Yen thought of his parents. He couldn't help but feel sad. With his parents around, he didn't travel far. Although he wanted to be with his parents often, sometimes it was not something he could hope for. It smells so good. Mu Lianfeng also responded. He knew that Zhao Yun'er's house was making dumplings today, so he knew that the dumplings must have been cooked when he smelled the familiar fragrance. He didn't expect to be able to eat dumplings as soon as he came down the mountain. You're back. Let my mother make some zongzi for you. There are many in the kitchen. Zhao Yun said with a smile. Mo Yen answered eagerly, okay, thank you, madam. Madam treats me the best. Zhao Yun became rather happy from Mo Yan's words. You guys eat. I still have something to do, so I'll leave first. Yes, madam. Zhao Yun'er went to Zhao Ping's house first with a basket of zongzi. After delivering the zongzi, she went to old Zhao's house. After wandering around Zhao Ping's house, Zhao Yun couldn't help but sigh. It turned out that when one was poor, one could really be poor to a certain extent. Zhao Ping's house was almost the same as her previous thatched hut. There were many places where the wind leaked out. Because he was a man, Zhao Ping didn't know how to tidy up the house, so the house was a mess. It really wasn't easy for a man to live without a wife. When Zhao Yun arrived at old Zhao's house, she found that old Zhao's house was noisy again. But this time, it was because of Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui was injured and was saved by Qin Yuan. He went to the medical center to have his injuries checked. The doctor prescribed some medicine. As long as he took the medicine according to the requirements and rested for a while, he would be fine. But because he was seriously injured, he had to lie in bed for at least half a month to a month. Chapter 1893. Hua Chunhua yelled at the top of her lungs, cursing incessantly in the courtyard, which black-hearted bastard actually dared to lay his hands on my Hui. This old woman curses all 18 generations of his ancestors to have a son without a D*ck. That wretched bastard is so heavy-handed. Aren't they afraid that someone will die? My precious daughter, nothing can happen to you. Mother only has one daughter. If anything happens to you, mother won't want to live anymore. Hua Chunhua's behavior could be said to be extremely exaggerated. Zhao Xinhui glanced indifferently at Hua Chunhua and said unhappily, "Mother, can you stop yelling? Are you afraid that our neighbors won't come over to join in the fun?" Only then did Hua Chunhua lower her voice resentfully, but she still continued to ask, "Hui, tell mother, what's wrong with you? Didn't you go to look for young Master Huang today? Why did you come back with injuries all over your body?" Speaking of this topic, Zhao Xinhui didn't know how to tell Hua Chunhua, especially in front of so many people. If her mother knew that young Master Huang had abandoned her and that she could no longer live a good life, she would probably yell at the top of her lungs again and spread the news to everyone. She couldn't afford to lose face like this. "Mother, don't ask about this matter. I'll tell you later." Hua Chunhua was even more curious. "Hui, what's so hard to say? If you don't say it now, mother will be worried to death. In any case, you should tell mother who injured you so badly so that mother can go and settle the score, right? Looking at your injuries, I'll have to extort at least 10 taels of silver back. Otherwise, we can't just let this go for nothing, right?" Before Zhao Xinhui could speak, Zhao Ping, snorted coldly, "Grandmother, I'm afraid you won't be able to settle the score with them." Hua Chunhua frowned. "I say, Ping, girl, what do you mean by that?" "Grandmother, that's because you don't know why younger aunt was injured." "I know, I saw it today." Hua Chunhua pressed, "Girl, can you speak faster? Why do you have to make me anxious? You'll only be happy if you say a few sentences in one sentence." Zhao Ping's temper instantly, but she took pleasure in Zhao Xinhui's misfortune. She said in a mocking tone, "Grandmother, you can't blame anyone else for this matter. It's younger aunt's fault. It's all younger aunt's. She caused a ruckus on the streets today and even scolded someone. He just couldn't stand her, so he took action to teach her a lesson. There are so many people on the street. Who knows whose fist landed on little aunt's body? It's not like he's from our village. Where are you going to find him?" Her of her Chunhua, was of her SSS of s. She her SSS. She didn't even know who the culprit was. How was she supposed to find the culprit? It seemed that Zhao Xinhui was really suffering in silence this time. She could only bear this grievance in vain. After Zhao Ping finished speaking, Zhao Xinhui was instantly unhappy. She pointed at Zhao Ping and scolded, "Ping, girl, what do you mean by that? Are you asking for a lesson with your cheap mouth? Did I allow you to speak? You're up to no good. I think you can't wait for me to get injured, right?" Zhao Ping pursed her lips, "Younger aunt, I'm telling the truth. Even if I don't say it today, it'll spread to the village tomorrow. Grandmother will definitely know anyway. There were so many people in town at that time. There were also people in our village. After hearing Zhao Ping's words, Zhao Xinhui's eyes reddened even more. Chapter 1894. If she was really seen by the people in the village, there would be rumors of her being ridiculed. How could she continue to stay in Shui Lan village? Zhao Ping, why you better not go overboard. Zhao Xinhui warned through gritted teeth. When Qin Yuan saw Zhao Xinhui's anger, he immediately stood up and walked over to Zhao Ping. He gave Zhao Yun a few tight slaps. You be *tch, didn't you hear what your aunt said? You don't have a good memory and only know how to spout nonsense. I think you need to be taught a lesson. Zhao Ping's face instantly turned red and swollen. She was completely stupefied. Big brother Yuan actually hit her, and hit her so hard. It was all for that *tch Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Ping's eyes were filled with tears. She felt very wronged. Qin Yuan was clearly her husband, but he was protecting Zhao Xinhui, making her seem like an outsider. Big brother Yuan. Woo-woo. Zhao Ping started sobbing. However, Qin Yuan did not feel sorry for Zhao Ping at all. He warned her, stupid *tch, if you make your aunt unhappy again, see how I'll continue to teach you a lesson. Zhao Ping was frightened by Qin Yuan. Although she was unwilling, because she loved Qin Yuan in her heart, she still bit her lower lip and responded, I got it. Qin Yuan then said to Zhao Xinhui obsequiously, Aunt, look, I'll teach that stupid *tch Zhao Ping a lesson for you. You have to recuperate properly now. Don't be bullied. Otherwise, your body won't be able to take it. Okay. Zhao Xinhui glanced at the red marks on Zhao Ping's face and felt much better. Qin Yuan was still the best. He taught Zhao Ping a lesson, and Zhao Ping did not even dare to make a sound. However, Hua Chunhua continued to nag, it's over, it's over. What should we do? Little Hui, aren't you just being bullied for no reason? I think we should tell young Master Huang about this matter and let him bring you back to the manor. You definitely won't be able to recuperate well at home, right? The Huang Manor's conditions are good. They'll definitely serve you well. Zhao Xinhui got angry at the mention of this. She felt that Hua Chunhua was poking her wound. After she said it, Hua Chunhua still nagged her again. Mother, Zhao Xinhui's mother's, Xinhui, Zhao's way. Zhao Xinhui said unhappily. At most, I'll move out today. Whether I live or die has nothing to do with you. Hua Chunhua was stunned. She hurriedly said, Little Hui, don't misunderstand me. That's not what I meant. Then what do you mean? Hui, Zhao Xinhui, I just want you to live a better life. It's not a good idea for you to live a hard life at home. Look, you're covered in injuries. If young Master Huang sees you like this, he'll definitely feel sorry for you. Maybe he'll soften his heart and bring you back to the Huang Manor. It's already been a while. The limelight is definitely over. Young Master Huang won't have any problems bringing you back, right? Zhao Xinhui smiled bitterly. She had already been chased out by young Master Huang. Young Master Huang had also put in a lot of effort to heal her injuries. Wouldn't it be a fool's dream if she wanted to go back to the Huang Manor? Fortunately, the child in her belly was fine. She only hoped that it would be born. In the future, she might even have to do a blood test to make young Master Huang believe her. However, that was impossible for now. Chapter 1895. Hua Chunhua furrowed her brows when she saw Zhao Xinhui's strange expression. She really couldn't understand why Zhao Xinhui would suddenly act like this. Shouldn't she mention young Master Huang? Zhao Baoshan, who was sitting in the courtyard, was smoking a pipe. He stopped what he was doing and said impatiently to Hua Chunhua, the child is injured. What's the point of harping on and on about this? Can't you wait until Hui-er's injuries are healed? Let Hui-er decide whether she wants to go to the Huang estate or stay at home. Why are you blindly worrying about this? After hearing Zhao Baoshan's words, Hua Chunhua's anger subsided a little. After thinking about Zhao Baoshan's words, she nodded and said, all right, all right, all right. Then let Hui-er rest well. Ai, what should we do with her injuries? I have to make some delicious food for Hui-er to nourish her body. After saying that, Hua Chunhua wanted to go to the kitchen and get busy. Auntie, let me send you into the house. Qin Yuan said politely. He was about to carry Zhao Xinhui when Hua Chunhua saw it. She glared at Qin Yuan and reprimanded him. What are you trying to do, you stinking brat? You're even trying to touch my Hui-er? Let me tell you, don't even think about having ideas about my Hui-er. My Hui-er isn't someone you can climb up to. After being reprimanded by Hua Chunhua, Qin Yuan was a little embarrassed. However, he knew that Hua Chunhua was speaking the truth. He was indeed climbing up to Zhao Xinhui. Just as Qin Yuan was feeling sad, Zhao Xinhui unhappily retorted to Hua Chunhua. Mother, what are you talking about? He helped me out of kindness and you're still harping on it. If it weren't for Qin Yuan, I wouldn't have been able to come back today. This. Hua Chunhua hadn't thought of this. What she said just now was indeed a little too much. Zhao Baoshan said, Hui-er is right. Old woman, don't make false claims before you figure out the situation. You'll only embarrass yourself if you misunderstand others. Hua Chunhua grunted in response. But old man, Hui is a girl after all. It's not good to let this brat send her into the house. We have a lot of family members. Second brother, fourth brother, hurry up and send Hui into the house. Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Wentao responded. They walked to Zhao Xinhui and helped Zhao Xinhui into the house. Qin Yuan looked at Zhao Xinhui reluctantly, hoping that he would be the one to send Zhao Xinhui into the house. Qin Yuan put away the reluctance in his eyes and silently turned his head away. Zhao Baoshan thought that Qin Yuan had helped him a lot today, so he said to Hua Chunhua, Old woman, why don't you cook more delicious food for them to stay for dinner tonight? Hua Chunhua grunted in response. All right then. I'll prepare a few more dishes later. It's just nice that I want to nourish Hui-er's body. Zhao Baoshan grunted in response, then looked at Qin Yuan and Zhao Ping-er. Why don't the two of you stay for dinner? How could Qin Yuan disagree? He hurriedly replied happily, sure, sure. At this moment, he wished that he could stay at old Zhao's house. That way, he could see Zhao Xinhui every day. Zhao Ping couldn't help but remind him, Big brother Yuan. If we stay for dinner, won't it be dark when we return? It's not easy to walk at night. Chapter 1896. But, if you continue to blabber, do you believe that I won't slap you again? Qin Yuan reprimanded her sternly. Zhao Ping trembled in fear and hurriedly shut her mouth. Big brother Yuan. I won't say anything, all right. Zhao Baoshan took a puff of his pipe and said, don't worry. Ping won't be back too late. I'll get your grandmother to cook now. She'll finish eating early and go back. You didn't come here on two legs. Aren't you driving a donkey? Moreover, the sky is getting darker and darker. There's still a long time before it gets dark. After Zhao Baoshan finished speaking, Qin Yuan hurriedly agreed from behind. Yes, yes, yes. Master is right. It's not too late now. Zhao Ping was still resentful in her heart. How could she not know that Qin Yuan was reluctant to leave? When she thought about how Qin Yuan was still thinking about Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping's heart ached terribly. How could there be an aunt and a niece fighting over a man? Weren't they afraid of being laughed at if word of this got out? Yet, her aunt was a shameless person. The more Zhao Ping thought about it, the angrier she got. If Zhao Xinhui really snatched her husband one day, she would definitely kick up a fuss and make sure that Zhao Xinhui couldn't be a person in the village in the future. What the hell was going on? Hu Chunhua hurriedly agreed. All right. I'll go cook now. I'll go to the chicken coop and get an old hen to stew some soup. I think we should buy some longans and brown sugar for to stew. She lost so much blood this time. She needs to recuperate well. Go quickly. Zhao Baoshan waved his hand and urged her. Okay. Hu Chunhua answered with a grin. In the blink of an eye, she arrived at the chicken coop and casually grabbed a fat old hen. When Zhao Wenshui saw this, he instantly felt jealous. His mother was really good to his little sister. She casually grabbed one of the chickens that they had painstakingly raised and gave it to Zhao Xinhui to nourish her body. He thought about how he was caught by Hu Chunhua and scolded for only drinking a bowl of chicken soup last time. It was as if he had done something unforgivable. When he saw Hu Chunhua shaking the old hen in her hand and thought about the taste of the chicken soup, Zhao Wenshui couldn't help but swallow his saliva. He then went up to Hu Chunhua and spoke to Hu Chunhua. Mother, this old hen can make a lot of soup. Can I have a bowl of soup when the time comes? When she met Zhao Wenshui's expectant eyes, not only did Zhao Wenshui not agree, but he even scolded Zhao Wenshui. You're such a tasty but difficult cook. I didn't see you being so diligent when you were harvesting the vegetable seeds. You even asked your third brother and fourth brother to help you harvest them. Now you have the nerve to ask for chicken soup. When it comes to food, no one is as enthusiastic as you. After being scolded by Hu Chunhua, Zhao Wenshui felt embarrassed. However, he continued to think about Hu Chunhua's chicken soup. Since the banquet, he hadn't eaten anything good. Now, he only felt that his mouth was tasteless and wanted to eat something with meat. Chicken soup was the best. With a layer of butter floating on top, it was fragrant and delicious. Knowing that Hu Chunhua definitely didn't want to give him chicken soup because she couldn't bear to part with it, Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, Mother, I won't drink your chicken soup for free. I'll pay you. Your son hasn't eaten anything good for a long time. Can't you give me a bowl of chicken soup? Hu Chunhua rolled her eyes and said, Okay, for copper coins per bowl. Chapter 1897. At this moment, Zhao Yun went to old Zhao's courtyard. After watching this scene, Zhao Yun only felt that it was very strange. Now that Zhao Xinhui was sent back, she would probably have to stay in old Zhao's house for a long time. As for the love triangle between Qin Yuan, Zhao Ping, and Zhao Xinhui, it could be treated as a joke. Ah, Yun, girl is here. Seeing Zhao Yun, come over, Qian Zhuzhe hurriedly greeted her. When Feng Zhangxia caught a glimpse of the basket of dumplings in Zhao Yun's hand, she also hurriedly came over. Yun, girl, why are you here today? Seeing Feng Zhangxia's hypocritical look, Zhao Yun ignored her because she still had to ask about something she didn't understand. Instead, she held the basket in her hand and said to Qian Zhuzhe, Fourth aunt, I'm here to give you some dumplings. They've just been cooked at home. Qian Zhuzhe hurriedly said, Hey, Yun, girl, you should eat the dumplings that your family made. Why are you still sending them to us? We have to make dumplings ourselves too. Zhao Yun smiled, It's okay, fourth aunt. You can send some dumplings to me when you're done making them. You can have a taste of my dumplings first. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly agreed, That's right, fourth sister-in-law. Since Yun, girl is sending them over, you should just accept them. Why are you delaying it so much? Feng Zhangxia was afraid that Qian Zhuzhe would be too embarrassed to ask for them if she had already rejected them. Otherwise, wouldn't it seem that she was too greedy? But then again, my family may not be making dumplings today. Fourth sister-in-law, when your family makes dumplings, remember to send some to me to try. Zhao Yun couldn't help but roll her eyes. How could there be such a person? She only knew how to think about other people's things, but she was stingy. No one could compare to Feng Zhangxia's ability to be greedy for small gains. Qian Hongzhui had no choice but to agree. Since the other party had spoken, she couldn't say no, even though she was a little unhappy. After all, these days, they couldn't even bear to eat rice, let alone glutinous rice dumplings. Wasn't it just for the sake of the festive feeling? When the time came, he would definitely not pack too many. At most, he would let Feng Zhangxia have a taste. He would not give her too many. Here, fourth aunt, this is yours. Zhao Yun'er counted 15 zongzi and handed them to Qian Zhonghu. Although Qian Hongzhui was a little embarrassed, she still took it. At this time, Li Chuiying also came out. Zhao Yun'er counted 15 people and gave them to Li Chuiying. Feng Zhangxia immediately became anxious. Seeing that Zhao Yun'er hadn't given it to her, she hurriedly said, "Yun'er girl, where's mine? Where is mine?" The corner of Zhao Yun'er's mouth twitched. She replied indifferently, "Eldest aunt, why are you in such a hurry? It's not like it can run away." Feng Zhangxia's face reddened for a moment, then she smiled embarrassedly and said, "This. Yun'er girl, aren't you looking forward to having an early bite to see what it tastes like?" Zhao Yun'er sneered. She was clearly afraid that the zongzi in her hand would run away, so she said that. Zhao Yun'er counted, then handed the eldest branch's portion to Feng Zhangxia. Feng Zhangxia took it and sighed in relief. She smiled and said, "Yun'er girl is still so kind. She gave us so much to eat." "Yun'er girl, what kind of fillings are you packing?" Zhao Yun'er faintly replied, "Salted meat." Chapter 1898. Thinking about it, Zhao Yun'er's family was indeed a bit rich. They must have spent a lot of money to make so many meat dumplings. Their family had gotten 15 meat dumplings for free, so they really made a profit. Feng Zhangxia smiled and said, "Meat dumplings are good, meat dumplings are good. I've only eaten them once in my family's dozens of years of life, and I still miss the taste. I didn't expect that thanks to Yun'er, I can eat them again today." Zhao Yun'er ignored Feng Zhangxia and sent the remaining 15 meat dumplings to Huchenhua. Feng Zhangxia was even more embarrassed. After a while, she hurried into the room with the meat dumplings in her hand to let the men and Shenpan taste them. After all, they were good things. Although Huchenhua and Zhao Yun'er didn't get along, when Zhao Yun'er sent meat dumplings over this time, her expression became much better. She also pretended to be amiable towards Zhao Yun'er. Yun'er actually sent meat dumplings over. "And my father asked me to send them over. He said that it's the holidays so that you and grandfather can try some dumplings." Zhao Yun didn't take credit and directly pushed the matter to Zhao Wenhua. After hearing Zhao Yun'er's words, Zhao Baoshan continued to smoke and said, "Third brother is a filial son. In our family, only third brother and fourth brother are the most filial. The others aren't anything good." Zhao Baoshan's words were straightforward and clear. Huchenhua replied, "Third brother and fourth brother are indeed more filial than the other two. Especially this second brother, who only knows how to eat and be lazy all day long. We're old now, so we can't count on him. It's already a good thing that he doesn't come over to ask for food. It was fine in the past, but after we split from the family, we can't control him anymore. He doesn't even farm his own family's land. I don't know what he wants to do." Just as she was scolding him, Zhao Wenshui came out of the room with some money. He looked at Huchenhua bitterly and muttered, "Mother, how can you say that about me?" Zhao Baoshan was still angry at Zhao Wenshui for not collecting the vegetable seeds. If it weren't for Zhao Wenshui, the vegetable seeds would have been wasted. These days, those vegetable seeds were worth a lot of money. If they were kept for a year, there would be enough oil for them to eat. So what if your mother says something about you? Wasn't that the truth? Aren't you the laziest in old Zhao's family? Even if you go to the village and take a look, you won't find many people like you." Zhao Wenshui was not convinced. "Dad, I'm just lazy for a while. Nothing will happen if I stay at home obediently. Look at Lu San in our village. He causes trouble all day long and flirts with little girls. Compared to that kind of person, at least my character is not bad, right?" Zhao Baoshan was amused by Zhao Wenshui and said sarcastically, "You brat, you still have the nerve to say that. I think you've almost forgotten about the incident between you and Widow Qian, right?" Zhao Wenshui was suddenly embarrassed. He blushed and called faintly, "Dad, okay, don't talk about him. I'm annoyed when I see him." Hua Chunhua snorted softly. At the same time, she took the 4 copper coins in Zhao Wenshui's hand. Zhao Wenshui was very sad that he was being despised. He had no choice but to turn around and say, "Mother, remember to call me when the chicken soup is ready." I know. Hua Chunhua waved her hand impatiently. When he turned around, he suddenly caught a glimpse of the zongzi in Li Chuiying's hand. He rushed to Li Chuiying and grabbed them all. He complained, "You're really a woman. Why didn't you call me out to eat such good food?" Chapter 1899. Li Chuiying grumbled, "Tianyu's father, I didn't call you on purpose. Isn't it because Yun just sent them over?" Zhao Wenshui snorted coldly and said, All right, you only know how to talk back. I'll eat these dumplings." Li Chuiying hurriedly reminded him, "Tianyu's father, Yun only sent over a dozen dumplings. Don't eat them all by yourself. Give Tianyu some wine." She hadn't eaten any dumplings herself. She heard that Zhao Yun said they were salted meat dumplings, so she wanted to have a bite. Unfortunately, she didn't dare to tell Zhao Wenshui that this man was like this. He would probably scold her if he ate a dumpling. Zhao Wenshui replied impatiently, I know. You're so long-winded." After Zhao Wenshui finished speaking, he walked into the room with the dumplings. Seeing Zhao Wenshui's behavior, Zhao Yun was disgusted. She couldn't help but say to Li Chuiying, "Second aunt, there are so many dumplings. Don't you want to eat any of them? Why don't you ask second uncle to get some for you?" Forget it. If he wants to eat, let him eat. I'm too lazy to argue with him. I don't want to make a scene at home." Li Chuiying looked helpless. It was obvious that Li Chuiying was heartbroken because of Zhao Wenshui. It was sad for a woman to meet a man like this. He was useless, and he even deliberately made you angry. Zhao Yun sympathized with Li Chuiying's fate. Fortunately, Zhao Wenshui was born in ancient times. Women relied on men to survive, and the divorce rate was not high. She was afraid that people would talk about it. If this was the 21st century, which woman would be able to tolerate her man being lazy and even flaunting his prowess at home? "Second sister-in-law, you can eat my food." Qian Zhurong also sympathized with Li Chuiying. She took a few dumplings from the dumplings Zhao Yun'er gave her and stuffed them into Li Chuiying's hands. Li Chuiying hurriedly waved his hand and refused. "Fourth sister-in-law, how can you do that? Yun'er gave it to you. Your family should eat it. Why are you giving it to me?" Qian Zhonghu smiled and said, "It's okay, second sister-in-law. You can eat it. I'll leave some at home to eat. I just want to taste it and hope to fill my stomach." Li Chuiying hesitated for a moment, but Qian Zhozha had already stuffed the dumplings into Li Chuiying's hands. "Second sister-in-law, don't refuse me anymore. If you refuse again, I will be angry." Seeing Qian Zhonghu's serious face, Li Chun felt a little embarrassed and said, "Then fourth sister-in-law, I just want one to try. Don't give me so many, okay?" Qian Zhui thought about it. It was good for both of them to take a step back. She nodded and said, "All right, second sister-in-law. You can try one." "Okay." Li Chuiying responded with a smile, and a touch of emotion emerged in her heart. She was not old Zhao's sisters-in-law. She could not live in old Zhao's house anymore. On the other side, Hua Chunhua, who said Zhao Yun'er's dumplings, quickly took the dumplings into Zhao Xinhui's house. Whenever there was something good, the first thing he thought of was his daughter. He wanted his daughter to have a good taste. There were a total of 15 dumplings. 5 of them were given to Zhao Baoshan. She only needed to eat 2 dumplings. The remaining 8 were all given to Zhao Xinhui. In old Zhao's courtyard, everyone had already peeled off the dumplings and started eating. The fragrance of the bamboo leaves and the glutinous rice made everyone take a deep breath and swallow their saliva. Chapter 1900. It tastes even better. People say that zongzi with salted meat is different. It has a meaty aroma when you eat it. It's a pity that ordinary people like us can't afford to eat such zongzi. It's all thanks to Yun-er. Zhao Yun-er smiled. Actually, bacon isn't that expensive. So many zongzi only cost about 2 caddies of meat. It's only 30 copper coins more than the ordinary ones. Yun-er, we countrymen have to make a living. 30 copper coins isn't a small amount. Ordinary people can't bear to spend it. Zhao Yun-er smiled and thought about the hard days she had with Daodu at the beginning. Not to mention 30 copper coins, even if it was 3 copper coins, she was not willing to spend it. Poor people were like this when they spent money. They calculated carefully and hoped to save as much as they could. Everyone in the courtyard was eating happily, except for Zhao Ping-er and Qin Yuan. Zhao Ping-er couldn't help swallowing her saliva when she saw the food. She couldn't help but move closer to Zhao Yun-er and ask Zhao Yun-er, you've given zongzi to other relatives. I'm your sister, so I have to get one too, right? Faced with Zhao Ping-er's matter-of-fact tone, Zhao Yun-er frowned in annoyance. Who do you think you are? Why should I give it to you? I'd rather give zongzi to a dog than to those heartless people. If I give it to a dog, the dog will wag its tail and bark at me. But Zhao Ping-er, what do you think I'll get if I give it to you? What else can you do except go against me every day? Zhao Ping-er's eyes suddenly turned red. Zhao Yun-er. Fine, you treat me like this. Who's heartless? In my opinion, you're the most heartless one, you be *tch. If you don't give it to me, I'll ask Mother for it. Mother will definitely give it to me. Zhao Ping-er was about to walk towards Zhao Yun-er's house. Zhao Yun-er stared coldly at Zhao Ping-er. Sister Ping-er, don't waste your energy. I bought these dumplings with my own money. Without my approval, who would dare to give you the dumplings? Do you still think that Liang will spoil you like before? I can give you whatever you want. You're thinking too much. Zhao Ping-er felt like she was about to vent her anger. Zhao Yun-er, you, don't push your luck. Sister Ping-er, you're thinking too much. I've always been like this. You, on the other hand, don't push your luck. When the time comes, you won't be able to stay in your in-laws' family, and your maiden family won't like you either. You. Zhao Ping-er's fingers trembled. Looking at Zhao Yun-er's appearance, she wanted to teach her a lesson. However, she knew that it would be like hitting an egg against a rock. She wouldn't get any benefits. If there's nothing else, then I'll leave first. Zhao Yun curled her lips and walked towards her house. Facing Zhao Yun-er's swaggering back, Zhao Ping-er swallowed her anger. Zhao Ping originally wanted to go to Qin Yuan to cry and complain. Who knew that crying didn't work? Instead, she was caught by Qin Yuan and scolded. If you ask me, Zhao Ping-er, you're too stupid. Why did you have to go against Zhao Yun-er previously? Don't you know who to please? If you get closer to Zhao Yun now, I reckon that you won't miss out on us. Zhao Ping-er replied aggrievedly. Big brother Yuan, I just can't stand Zhao Yun-er's arrogant and proud look. Although she's my biological sister, she's very annoying. Chapter 1901. Alright. All you know is Ma Xiaofeng. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have had to share the money with Ma Xiaofeng. Qin Yuan reprimanded unhappily. Thinking about the money he earned every day, even though he only gave a portion to Ma Xiaofeng, it was still not a small amount. If you had kept the money for yourself, you would have been able to save up quite a bit. Yuan Gij, you can't say that. If it wasn't for Xiaofeng's suggestion, we wouldn't have known about selling pig offal. We've earned so much money, haven't we lost out to Xiaofeng? You can't be unwilling to share the money with Xiaofeng, right? Qin Yuan couldn't be bothered with Zhao Ping anymore. He really didn't want to waste his breath on this stupid woman. He only hoped that he wouldn't be dragged down by Zhao Ping in the future. However, he didn't see any hope in the past. Now, he was full of expectations. After all, after today, he knew that his aunt was willing to accept him. His originally silent heart was suddenly rekindled with new hope. Perhaps one day, he would be able to marry Zhao Xinhui. As for Zhao Ping, she had better be obedient. He was still willing to stay in the family Qin and order her around. However, if Zhao Ping didn't listen to him, then she could scram back to wherever she came from. He absolutely couldn't dirty his eyes. Zhao Ping stood in front of Qin Yuan with an aggrieved expression, afraid that Qin Yuan would hate her. When she thought about Zhao Xinhui again, Zhao Ping couldn't help but think about how she could distance Qin Yuan from Zhao Xinhui. If the two of them were often together, perhaps Zhao Xinhui would really seduce Qin Yuan and snatch her husband back. Although Qin Yuan was a little poor, that was in the past. Now, by relying on the pig offal, the family Qin was slowly becoming wealthy. Coupled with Qin Yuan's appearance, he was definitely one of the best men in the countryside. If Zhao Xinhui took a fancy to her, it would be even more understandable. Zhao Ping was thinking about this worriedly. On the other side, in the Tian family village. She didn't just think about Zhao Yun's family when she came back from town. He had to let Tian Wenhan go to Zhao Yun's house as soon as possible to clarify the matter. Otherwise, if someone else proposed the marriage first, their family would suffer a great loss. In the past 2 years, in order to support Tian Wenhan's studies, the Tian family had sold a lot of land. Their lives were getting harder and harder. Therefore, the family had to get more income now. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to last until Tian Wenhan passed the high scholar examination. When Tian Wenhan passed the high scholar examination, his life would definitely be much better. At that time, he would be able to become a high-ranking official, and all the previous hardships would be worth it. Now that he had gotten close to Zhao Yun's family, he asked Zhao Yun's family to provide some money to help his Wenhan continue his studies. In addition, his family would be able to live a better life during this period. After the Wu clan calculated everything in his heart, he couldn't wait to go to Zhao Yun's house and bring Tian Wenhan along to talk to them. When the Wu clan returned home with the ox cart, he patted his aching back. This ox cart was really uncomfortable. There were so many people, and it was very bumpy. Moreover, it was very slow. At his age, his waist and legs couldn't bear it at all. He thought about the donkey that Zhao Yun used. It was much faster to drive a donkey back home. With a donkey, he didn't have to squeeze with so many people. How comfortable it was. If he really waited for Zhao Yun to marry into his family, then wouldn't the things that Zhao Yun used now belong to the Tian family? Chapter 1902. Wu clan carried the basket and walked into their house. Their house was low and dilapidated, and the walls were cracked. Their house was considered dilapidated in the village. Their family was poor in the past, and they were laughed at by the villagers. Later, their child said that if they wanted to change their family's situation, they had to send their child to school and let their child stand out. Only then could they have a chance to change their lives, and avoid being poor for the rest of their lives and never being able to raise their heads in front of others. Fortunately, their Wenhan was really angry. After spending money on his education, he studied very hard and later became a county official. This was unique in the village. These days, scholars were the most respected, especially Tian Wenhan, who became a county official. As long as he worked hard, Tian Wenhan could become a county official. How many people in the village could become an official? Therefore, after Tian Wenhan became a county official, the villagers were much more polite to the Tian family. From time to time, they would curry favor with them, and many people would often send vegetables to the Tian family. They were probably waiting for Tian Wenhan to become successful one day and repay them so that they could receive some benefits. After eating vegetarian dishes for many days, she and her child's father couldn't stand it anymore. They often felt that their stomachs were empty, and they didn't have much energy. Fortunately, there weren't many fields, and they didn't have to do too much work. However, thinking that Tian Wenhan worked hard every day to study, they couldn't not have any energy. Therefore, when they went to Yang City today, the Wu clan gritted their teeth and came back with half a caddy of meat. Although it wasn't a lot, it was enough to nourish Tian Wenhan's body. The owner of the stall was not bad. He gave them some fatty meat with enough oil. If they put it in a pot to make oil, they would definitely feel more energetic after eating it. After the Wu clan walked into the house, they put the basket in their hands on a stool. Then they walked to Tian Wenhan's house and looked in through the crack in the door. They saw Tian Wenhan sitting in front of the table, carefully flipping through a book in his hands. He was concentrating on reading. His thin and weak body showed a sense of determination. When the Wu clan saw this, they couldn't help but smile. What she was most proud of in her life was that she had given birth to such a promising son. He would put in a lot of effort to study for him. Now that he had passed the elementary scholar examination, he was working hard to prepare for the high scholar examination. However, when the Wu clan thought of Tian Wenhan waking up early and going to bed late every day to read books, they felt very distressed. After standing for a while, the Wu clan knocked on Tian Wenhan's door. Tian Wenhan finally reacted and looked in the direction of the door. "Mom, what's wrong?" Tian Wenhan asked. Wu clan walked in and said with a smile, "Wenhan, you don't have to study so hard. When it's time to rest, rest well. That's the most important thing. Mother saw that you've been watching for quite a while. Why don't you take a break and watch again?" Tian Wenhan smiled and shook his head. "Mom, don't worry about me. I'm fine. Even if you're fine, you should take a break. Chat with Mom for a while." Tian Wenhan thought for a while, then put down the book in his hands and replied, "Okay, Mom. I'll chat with you for a while. What do you want to talk about?" The Wu clan sat down next to Tian Wenhan and said mysteriously, "Wenhan, guess who I met in Yang City today?" Tian Wenhan frowned and thought for a while. Then he asked in confusion, "Mom, who did you meet?" Chapter 1903. Tian Wenhan was slightly stunned. He didn't expect the Wu clan to suddenly mention Zhao Yun. Mother, seeing that Tian Wenhan was not right, the Wu clan continued to say earnestly, "Wenhan, Mother knows that you like Zhao Yun. If it weren't for that incident, Mother wouldn't have stopped you two from being together." Tian Wenhan felt a little uncomfortable at the mention of that incident. He was indeed reluctant to part with Zhao Yun, but his mother was very noisy. He couldn't bear to see her like that, so he agreed. Since then, he had little interest in other women. In his heart, he was still thinking about Zhao Yun. But after so many years, she suddenly mentioned Zhao Yun. He didn't know what his mother meant. "Mother, now that our two families have broken off the engagement, what's the point of saying this?" Tian Wenhan sighed. The Wu clan grabbed Tian Wenhan's hand and said earnestly, "Wenhan, Mother didn't agree to you two being together in the past. But at that time, other than that incident, it was because the Zhao family was poor. With that incident and the special circumstances, how could they be related to our Tian family? But now it's different. Mother saw that Zhao Yun even drove a donkey. The aunt next door also said that the Zhao family is different from before. They are starting to become rich. They have built a big house. It's very impressive." Hearing the Wu clan's words, Tian Wenhan was silent. It turned out that the Zhao family had changed so much after so many years. But hearing that Zhao Yun's family was living a much better life, Tian Wenhan was happy. He was naturally happy that Zhao Yun could live a better life. Since he couldn't stay by Zhao Yun's side, he had to watch Zhao Yun live a good life, right? Mom, what are you talking about? Tian Wenhan couldn't help but ask. He felt that it was strange for the Wu clan to suddenly bring this up. This. Wu clan smiled awkwardly, then pulled Tian Wenhan aside and said, Wenhan, it's like this. Mother was thinking that you and Yun were in love with each other back then and had a good relationship. Although our Tian family broke off the engagement, that Yun girl didn't remarry and is still at home. Tian Wenhan was even more puzzled. Mom, if she's not married, then so be it. That's her business. Why do you care about her now? Wu clan's mouth twitched, and he said with a smile, Isn't mother thinking that since you're unmarried and she's unmarried, why don't we go to their house to propose marriage? I think that Yun girl is still thinking about you in her heart. If we go to their house again, they'll definitely agree to this marriage. Tian Wenhan frowned and refused. Mom, how can we do that? It's not nice of us to do that. We've already broken off the engagement. How can we still have the face to propose marriage? We'll probably be kicked out before we even get there. Moreover, Tian Wenhan thought about how he accidentally bumped into Zhao Yun'er last time. Zhao Yun'er seemed to be unable to resist him. Since it was like this, how could he propose marriage? How could he be willing to marry her if he forgot about her? Wu clan didn't agree, and said with a straight face, Wenhan, you can't say that. You're so good that you can't even find a single person in the surrounding villages. When you pass the provincial exam, you can become an official. Zhao Yun'er will be the wife of an official after she marries you. She got pregnant before marriage, and her conditions aren't good to begin with. It's her blessing that you can marry her. What reason does she have to refuse? Chapter 1904. Tian Wenhan was not happy. He muttered, Mother, how can it be like this? The Wu clan insisted, Wenhan, I don't care. You have to go to Zhao Yun'er's house. What if this marriage is successful? After you marry Zhao Yun'er, our Tian family's financial pressure will be reduced a lot. When the time comes, we can ask their family to sponsor your studies. When you pass the provincial examination and become an official, won't you take them to enjoy life together? Mother, I can't. Tian Wenhan refused. Don't say any more. I don't care. Wenhan, I'll go back and prepare. You and I will go to the Zhao family together. Before Tian Wenhan could refuse, the Wu clan left Tian Wenhan's room. Tian Wenhan felt helpless for a moment. However, when he thought of Zhao Yun'er, Tian Wenhan's heart moved slightly. He could forget if he didn't think of her. However, when he thought of Zhao Yun'er, Tian Wenhan missed her. Ever since he separated from Zhao Yun'er, he hadn't met a girl he liked. Previously, matchmakers had come to his house to talk about marriage many times. However, he didn't like any of them. Instead, he felt that those girls couldn't compare to Zhao Yun'er. Perhaps in this life, he would only think of Zhao Yun'er and couldn't tolerate other women. Back then, his parents didn't agree. This time, since they took the initiative to bring it up, should he accept? Perhaps he could give it a try. If Zhao Yun'er agreed, he could be with Zhao Yun'er. After Tian Wenhan was moved, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up. At old Zhao's house, after dinner and waiting for everyone to leave, Hu Chunhua continued to go to Zhao Xinhui's room. Facing Zhao Xinhui, Hu Chunhua chuckled and said, there's no one here now. Can you tell mother what's going on? Didn't I go to look for young Master Huang today? How did you come back with so many injuries? Now that there was no one around, Zhao Xinhui knew that no one would laugh at her. She was really annoyed by Hu Chunhua's nagging, so she said honestly, Mother, don't mention young Master Huang anymore. I can't go back in the future. Hu Chunhua stared blankly for a moment, her eyes filled with shock. What's going on? Why can't I go back in the future? Have you found young Master Huang? What did young Master Huang say? Hearing Hu Chunhua's nagging, Zhao Xinhui was very annoyed. Mother, you asked so many questions at once. How can I answer you? Hua Chunhua quickly said, okay. Take your time and answer them one by one. Zhao Xinhui pursed her lips and finally said, Mother, what's there to say? It's just that young Master Huang won't let me go back. Zhao Xinhui recounted what happened that day. When Hua Chunhua heard it, she immediately exploded. What? How could you do that? That legal wife is so shameless. How could she do such a thing? Isn't it obvious? Who else could the child in your stomach belong to other than young Master Huang? Mother, what's the use of saying that to me? Young Master Huang won't believe it. Why don't Mother go to his house and talk to him? How can this do? It's obvious that she's framing him. You can't take the blame for this. The Huang family is so rich. You can live a good life if you go back. You can't give up so easily. Didn't that legal wife frame you because young Master Huang dotes on you? Chapter 1905. Hua Chunhua's heart sank. Without young Master Huang, she would lose her income and support. Could it be that her little Hui would not be able to return to the Huang family? What should she do? It wasn't easy for her daughter to marry into a good husband's family, but now it seemed that her hopes were dashed. How could such a thing happen to her after she got married? It was impossible for Zhao Xinhui to continue staying in her maiden home. Not to mention, she had to serve her all day long. If she didn't go to the Huang family, where would Zhao Xinhui get money? She couldn't possibly spend the rest of her life with that little bit of money. Seeing Hua Chunhua's ugly smile, Zhao Xinhui was a little angry. Mother, what do you mean by this? Do you not want me to stay at home? At worst, I'll just move out. Hua Chunhua quickly waved her hand. No, little Hui, Mother didn't mean anything. Don't think too much. How can you move out with your body like this? You have to recuperate well at home. Mother still has to make good food for you. Zhao Xinhui sneered and replied, Mother, since that's the case, then shut up. Don't talk so much. Aren't you afraid of annoying people to death with your nagging? Hua Chunhua sighed and could only agree. Okay. Mother will listen to you, okay? I won't say any more. After Hua Chunhua finished speaking, she left Zhao Xinhui's room. However, her face was still full of worry. The good life that she had been looking forward to, was it going to return to its original state? She was used to living a good life. If she had to live a hard life again, she couldn't bear it. No, she had to think of a good way. Otherwise, what could she do if this continued? Zhao Baoshan noticed that Hua Chunhua had been sighing non-stop after coming out of Zhao Xinhui's room, as if she had encountered something. He asked impatiently, I say, what's wrong with you, old woman? She kept sighing as if she had encountered a huge problem. Could she not be like this? Just listening to your voice makes me annoyed. Hua Chunhua put on a bitter face and said to Zhao Baoshan with an aggrieved look, Old man, what are you talking about? I'm just worried. Zhao Baoshan snorted. You're worried? Tell me, what are you worried about? Hua Chunhua pursed her lips. Old man, sigh, aren't you worried about Hui? Hearing Hua Chunhua mention Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Baoshan replied disdainfully, he's just a little injured. He'll be fine after resting for a while. Hua Chunhua continued to sigh, hey, old man, that's not what I'm worried about. Zhao Baoshan replied impatiently, can't you just say it in one breath? You're going to stop here and there. I don't even know what you want to say. Hua Chunhua thought for a while. She couldn't confide in others. If she didn't tell Zhao Baoshan, she would have no one to talk to. After hesitating for a while, she said to Zhao Baoshan, Old man, it was Lord Huang who kicked Hui out of our house. She can't go back to the Huang family's house anymore. It's all because of his vicious wife. She said that Hui had an affair with another man and got pregnant. Hearing Hua Chunhua's words, Zhao Baoshan sat on the bed and took a long drag of his pipe without saying a word. Chapter 1906. Zhao Baoshan didn't care. What should we do? What can we do? Let's just do it. It's not a big deal. Anyway, she wasn't married before, and she didn't expect to be married at that time. Now, she can go back to her mother's house and live there for the rest of her life. Besides, we were poor before, so we probably didn't have enough money to support Hui-er. Now, the money that Hui-er brought back from the Huang family's house is enough for us to live in luxury for the rest of our lives. There's nothing to worry about. Hua Chunhua felt that Zhao Baoshan's words were somewhat reasonable. Zhao Xinhui's marriage was grand at that time, and Lord Huang was such a rich man. Everyone in the village was envious of her. If people knew that Zhao Xinhui was chased back to her mother's house not long after she got married, many people in the village would laugh at her. She was also a person who cared about her reputation. She couldn't stand others laughing at her. Every time she thought of that kind of feeling, she felt very upset. Alas! Hua Chunhua sighed heavily. She looked very sad. Zhao Baoshan couldn't stand Hua Chunhua's behavior, so he put down his tobacco pipe. Stop sighing. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm going to sleep now. Zhao Baoshan said, then took off his clothes and went to bed directly. He fell into a deep sleep the moment his head hit the pillow. Hua Chunhua's mind was filled with those bad emotions, so she couldn't fall asleep even in the middle of the night. Zhao Yun's family didn't have much work to do these days. They just took care of the paddy field. After it rained for many days, the paddy field was full of water. Many seedlings were submerged. Previously, they wanted to fill the paddy field with water, but now, they were busy draining the paddy field. However, they got a lot of good things while draining the paddy field. After the heavy rain, the paddy field was filled with loaches, eels, crabs, fish, and shrimps. In addition, Zhao Wenshui caught 2 big turtles and brought them over. These things were packed into a small bucket. In the countryside, fish and shrimp were not considered good food. Compared to fish, everyone preferred to eat pork. After all, fish did not have much oil. Only pork had enough oil. As for Old Turtle, Zhao Wenshui originally planned to catch it for his 2 children to play with. In the countryside, no one would eat this thing. Its shell was especially hard, and the villagers felt that it was not something that could be eaten. It was even thought to be poisonous, so under normal circumstances, no one would touch it. However, when Zhao Wenshui brought it back, Zhao Yun'er treated it like a treasure. Thinking about it, ancient people were really interesting. In the 21st century, people in ancient times were too lazy to eat things that everyone thought were good. For example, in the 21st century, all kinds of wild vegetables could not be bought with money. Those wild vegetables could only be eaten by people in the countryside. As for wild fish and old turtles, they were even rarer. In the 21st century, the ones sold in the world were basically all artificially bred, so Dao querying couldn't compare to wild ones. Wild old turtles were very nourishing things. When stewed into a soup, it tasted delicious, much better than pork rib soup and chicken soup. Now, she could stew the old turtle and give it to Liang Jinxiao and her family to nourish their bodies. It was also very beneficial for old people like old lady Liang to eat. When Zhao Wenhua saw that Zhao Yun'er wanted to eat the old turtle, he asked with a puzzled expression, "Yun'er, do you think this thing is really edible? How can such a big shell be eaten?" Chapter 1907. Father, it's edible. It's just that you don't know how to handle it and how to make it delicious. You think it's inedible because you haven't tried it before. This thing tastes better than an old hen. Of course, if you don't handle it well, it won't taste good. After hearing Zhao Yun'er's words, Zhao Wenhua nodded. He knew that Zhao Yun had a lot of ideas. Wasn't Yun the one who made all the delicious food at home? Thinking of the pig offal that Zhao Yun had made in the past, Zhao Yunlong was still sighing. It was difficult for others to sell it for a single copper coin, but in Zhao Yun's hands, it could be made into delicious food. Alright, make it and try it. If it tastes good, I'll go to the fields to catch more. This thing isn't rare in our fields. You can catch it casually. Zhao Yun responded. Zhao Yun carefully cleaned the things that she caught. She could eat them directly without going to Yang City to buy good things. If they were in the 21st century, who knew how much money they would have to spend to buy so many good things? Zhao Yun handled the old turtle. Although it was a little troublesome, Zhao Yun swallowed her saliva when she thought about the taste of the old turtle soup. She worked harder. Soon, Zhao Yun finished handling the things that Zhao Wenhua brought back. She also put the old turtle into the pot and started cooking. After putting in the seasoning, Zhao Yun added wood and water in the stove and started cooking. She didn't put too much water in the pot. She was afraid that too much water would dilute the taste. When the time came, it would be enough for everyone at home to drink 1 or 2 bowls. Zhao Wenhua could just catch more and stew it a few more times. Mother, I'll go get some wild vegetables. Zhao Yun called out. In addition to meat dishes, Zhao Yun planned to make a few vegetarian dishes. Previously, she saw that the wild vegetables at the foot of the mountain were growing well. Now, she wanted to pick some and cook them. After the rain, the wild vegetables had grown even more. However, not long after Zhao Yun'er left, Wu Chunhua arrived at Zhao Yun'er's house. During this period of time, Zhao Xinhui had been recuperating at home and had eaten a lot of good food. A few of the hens that he had raised had been eaten. If he continued to eat hens that could not lay eggs, he would have to buy more eggs when he returned. Therefore, Wu Chunhua reserved 2 or 3 for laying eggs. However, Zhao Xinhui would feel suffocated if he didn't eat good food for a day. He kept saying that he wanted to eat good food. Thinking about the injuries on Zhao Xinhui's body, Wu Chunhua felt that she really couldn't treat Zhao Xinhui shabbily. She couldn't be bothered to go to Yang City. After a long time, she came to the 3rd branch to see if she could get some good food from them. Therefore, she came over now. The moment she walked into Zhao Yun'er's courtyard, Wu Chunhua shouted at the top of her lungs, third brother's wife. Mother, what's wrong? Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao both walked out. Usually, Wu Chunhua rarely came to the 3rd branch's courtyard. This time, she suddenly came over, so Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao thought that something had happened. Wu Chunhua said, "It's nothing. I just came to ask you for 2 hens. Don't you have some at home? Hui is injured, so she needs to eat good food to nourish her body. My family's chickens are almost finished, so I thought that the 3rd branch would have some." From Wu Chunhua's tone and attitude, it seemed like she wanted to take it for free. The 3rd branch naturally felt uncomfortable when they heard that. Now that they had separated from the family, the 3rd branch's things had nothing to do with old Zhao's family. Chapter 1908. If it was in the past, with Zhao Wenhua's stubborn and filial character, he would have probably stuffed 2 hens into Wu Chunhua's hands. Now that he had been following Zhao Yun around for the past few days, he had learned a lot of principles. It wasn't easy for a family to live a good life, so they couldn't be too kind. If they gave others whatever they wanted, it would only make them want a yard after taking an inch. Zhao Wenhua knew Wu Chunhua's character very well. She was the kind of person who would think of ways to take advantage of others. After hesitating for a moment, he said, "Mother, the hens we raise at home are all used to lay eggs. We can't even bear to eat them. If I catch 2 hens for you, we won't have enough eggs at home, and we'll have to spend money to buy more. It's not worth it." Wu Chunhua rolled her eyes at Zhao Wenhua. "You black-hearted son, you just don't want to give them to me. Why are you still talking so much? I've really raised you for nothing. When you were young, I raised you with all my might. Now that you're all grown up, I don't see you being filial to this old woman." Faced with Hua Chunhua's scolding, Zhao Wenhua felt uncomfortable. Mother, I'm telling the truth. The hens we raise at home are indeed used to lay eggs. Why don't mother go ask eldest brother and second brother? They should also be raising hens, right? Hua Chunhua lightly snorted. The first branch and second branch did indeed raise hens, but it wasn't easy to take advantage of them. The first branch was too stingy with Feng Zhangxia. If they really wanted an old hen, they would probably quarrel with her. As for the second branch, what was so good about them? Zhao Wenshui would eat them first and definitely wouldn't give them to her. After thinking about it, the only possibility was to go to the third branch. Who asked the third branch to be rich? She had saved so much money at home, so what was two hens to her? Third brother, the richer people are, the more willing they are. Why is your family so stingy? You're already so rich. What's wrong with giving me 2 chickens? What's wrong with giving your little sister some nourishment? If 2 of your hens aren't enough to lay eggs in the future, Yun can just go to Yang City and buy more. Hua Chunhua scolded with a displeased expression. This. Zhao Wenhua was embarrassed. She didn't expect Hua Chunhua to expose her so directly. How did I give birth to such an unfilial son? If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have raised you when you were young. Hua Chunhua slapped her thigh and started making a fuss. She wanted to see if Zhao Wenhua would give in after making a fuss. Of course, the reason why Hua Chunhua dared to make a scene was that she didn't see Zhao Yuner come out. Without this ruthless character, Hua Chunhua was still somewhat confident in dealing with her son. She knew that her third son was usually considered filial and wouldn't be able to accept her words. Zhao Tianan listened from the side and couldn't help but retort, "Grandmother, why don't you have any conscience when you speak? Is my father not filial enough to you? After the Dragon Boat Festival, my father specially asked my second sister to send you salted meat dumplings. Did you see the other uncles send them? You have to put yourself in their shoes. You can't always criticize my father." After Zhao Tianan finished speaking, Hua Chunhua's expression immediately darkened. Because Zhao Tianan was speaking the truth, Hua Chunhua appeared very agitated. "Brat, how can you talk to your elders like that? Who are you to interrupt when I'm talking to your father?" Zhao Tianan muttered unhappily, "Grandmother, I'm not interrupting. I'm just stating the facts. You're in the wrong. What right do you have to criticize my father?" Chapter 1909. Liang Jinxiao followed behind Zhao Wenhua and responded, "Yes, mother. Everything in the house was bought by Yuner, so we have to get Yuner's permission before we can use it. Why don't you wait for a while? Yuner has gone out to pick wild vegetables. When Yuner comes back from picking wild vegetables, you can discuss with her and ask if she can catch 2 old hens for you. Is that okay?" Hua Chunhua was not a fool. How could she not know that she had no chance of getting the 2 hens when Zhao Yuner came back? It was already good enough that Zhao Yuner did not argue with her. How could she kindly agree to give the 2 hens to her? Hua Chunhua glared at Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao. "You useless things. Why can't you make decisions as parents? 2 adults listening to a little girl. You don't even know where to put your face." In the face of Hua Chunhua's criticism, Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao only lowered their heads and did not say a word. This way, Hua Chunhua could not do anything to them. Seeing that Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao had no intention of taking out the hens, Hua Chunhua was a little unhappy. Just then, a fragrant smell suddenly came from the kitchen. Hua Chunhua took a deep breath. The smell was really good. It was as fragrant as fish soup and chicken soup. She wondered what delicious food the third branch had cooked at home. Hua Chunhua rolled her eyes and walked straight to the kitchen. Even if she could not get the hens, she should at least search for something to bring back. Thus, Hua Chunhua walked with her short legs towards the third branch's kitchen. Before Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao could react, Hua Chunhua had already entered the room to open the pot. When she opened the pot, she found something stewing in it. Unfortunately, she couldn't recognize what it was. It was a strange pile of meat. It didn't look good, but it smelled very good. She thought that since the third branch had such good things, perhaps only wealthy families could eat them, so she didn't recognize them. Hua Chunhua scooped up a spoonful of soup and tasted it. She found that it was very delicious. Zhao Xinhui had been drinking chicken soup for a long time and was probably tired of it. It was good to give her a change of taste. Hua Chunhua's heart skipped a beat. She decided to cook all the soup in the pot for Zhao Xinhui. When Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao entered the kitchen, Hua Chunhua had already found a bowl and was scooping soup with a spatula. Zhao Wenhua hurriedly asked, "Mother, what are you doing?" Hua Chunhua pursed her lips and said, "Third son, it's fine if you don't want to give me 2 hens, but I have to fill this pot with soup for your little sister to try. Mother, Yuner stewed this. She will be angry if you do this." Hua Chunhua refused to let it go and retorted, "So what if she stewed it? Isn't it just some soup? Can't you treat it as being filial to your father and me?" "Mother." Zhao Wenhua looked helplessly at Hua Chunhua, not knowing what to say. Mother only thought about how to plunder him the moment she came here. Now, even a little bit of old turtle soup was good. She just had to take it back. Seeing that all the soup in the pot had been scooped out, Zhao Wenhua wanted to go forward and snatch it, but Hua Chunhua took a step back and said, "Third son, don't even think about snatching it from me. Why don't we stop drinking it? I'll throw it to the ground now. Otherwise, I'll take it back. I won't ask you for those 2 hens anymore." Zhao Wenhua was helpless against Hua Chunhua's shameless behavior. Chapter 1910. At most, they wouldn't eat the old turtle soup today. This thing wasn't valuable, and he could catch more later. It was just a little troublesome, and Zhao Yuner had to deal with it. It was worth it to exchange it for 2 hens. Zhao Wenhua sighed. "Mother, Yuner will definitely be unhappy if she finds out. She was the one who made this soup. Aren't you afraid that she will come to you to argue? You brat, what kind of father are you? Don't you know how to persuade her if she has an opinion?" "Mother," Hua Chunhua didn't have the mood to argue with Zhao Wenhua. She rushed out of the kitchen with the bowl in her hand. Before Zhao Wenhua could chase after her, Hua Chunhua had already run far away. "Yuner's father, why don't we just let it go? It's fine if mother takes it back. It's not valuable anyway. It's fine as long as she doesn't ask us for the hens." Zhao Wenhua sighed and responded, "Yes, that's the only way." When Zhao Yuner came back and heard that Hua Chunhua had taken away the old turtle soup she made, Zhao Yuner was furious. What kind of person was this? What right did he have to take something from her house and bring it back? Although the old turtle soup didn't cost money, he had spent a lot of effort on it. It was a nourishing pot of soup. It would be fine if Hua Chunhua took a few bowls back, but he didn't leave a single drop behind and took it all back. How could there be such a person? Zhao Yuner put down the vegetable basket in her hand, rolled up her sleeves, and decided to settle the score with Hua Chunhua. Zhao Wenhua quickly persuaded, "Yuner, why don't we just let it go? Don't argue with your grandmother. It's just a pot of soup. Father can go to the fields and catch a lot more." Zhao Yuner frowned and replied, "Father, it doesn't make sense. Even if it's just a bowl of wild vegetables, what right does she have to come to our house to take things? We've already separated from the family. Who does she think she is? Sigh, Yun, girl, you don't usually give us anything. Just take this pot of soup as filial piety to your grandmother and the others." However, Zhao Yuner was not easy to negotiate with. What she cared about was not the things, but the attitude of others. What he hated the most in his life was people like Hua Chunhua. Her actions were like that of a bandit. "Father, this matter is not negotiable. I want Grandma to give me an explanation." Seeing that Zhao Yuner was determined, Zhao Wenhua had no choice but to let Zhao Yuner go. "All right then. Yuner, don't quarrel too much with your grandmother, lest the neighbors see you as a joke. After all, she's your grandmother. Everyone in the village will definitely think that since our family is rich, it's understandable for us to give something to your grandmother. Zhao Yun'er responded faintly. She was not afraid of others talking behind her back. In any case, he had been talked about many times. What could he do when the mouths belonged to others? It was fine as long as he had a good time dealing with this weirdo. On the other hand, after Hua Chunhua brought back the old turtle soup from Zhao Yun'er's house, she went straight to Zhao Xinhui's house. Hua Chunhua giggled and said, "Huier girl, quickly look at what good food Liang brought for you." Zhao Xinhui sniffed and caught a whiff of a fragrance in the air. It was different from what she usually smelled. She was instantly interested and asked, "Mother, what did you make for me? It smells so good. It should be very delicious." Hua Chunhua's lips curled into a mysterious smile. Then, she brought the bowl in her hand to Zhao Xinhui and explained to Zhao Xinhui, "Huier girl, I got this from the third branch." Zhao Yun'er personally stewed it. Chapter 1911. Zhao Xinhui replied to Hua Chunhua disdainfully, "Mother, isn't it normal that you don't know what it is? You can't even recognize the things that rich people eat and use. I reckon that this Zhao Yun got these good things from somewhere, right?" Hua Chunhua hurriedly responded, "Yes, that's what mother thinks. It must be that Yun, a girl who made it so that mother can't recognize it. But since it's good stuff, it's naturally the best. You should nourish your body well." Zhao Xinhui nodded and said, "Zhao Yun, that girl's cooking skills are very good. I think it's delicious just by smelling it. Mother, you have to learn how to cook in the future. The things you cook aren't even half as good as hers. You've been cooking for so many years for nothing." Hua Chunhua smiled embarrassedly and said a little awkwardly, "Why do you dislike mother's cooking skills? Ever since your daughter-in-law became a stepmother, I've never cooked. Isn't it normal that my cooking skills are a little rusty? But I'm afraid that it'll be a little difficult to learn Yun'er's cooking skills." Zhao Xinhui pursed her lips resentfully. She was about to throw up from eating her mother's cooking these days. Unfortunately, she had no choice. She didn't want to and didn't know how to cook. She couldn't possibly hire a chef to specially cook for her. Now that she finally got to freeload Zhao Yun'er's soup, she couldn't wait to taste it. Hua Chunhua hurriedly picked up the spoon and handed it to Zhao Xinhui. She said to Zhao Xinhui, "Here, girl, quickly taste it. You have to drink the soup while it's hot. Otherwise, it won't taste good when it's cold." Zhao Xinhui took the spoon and began drinking from the bowl. A fresh and fragrant taste entered her mouth. It was very delicious. Sure enough, Zhao Yun'er's soup was better than Hua Chunhua's. Unfortunately, she didn't have such a good opportunity to eat Zhao Yun'er's cooking every day. Hua Chunhua watched from the side. When she saw Zhao Xinhui eating happily, she couldn't help but swallow her saliva. She even asked with a smile, "How does it taste?" Zhao Xinhui nodded as she sipped her drink. "It tastes good. It's even better than your chicken soup." Hua Chunhua smiled awkwardly and said, "Yun knows how to make banquets, so it's normal that she has good culinary skills. Don't just drink the soup. There's still meat. Have a taste of the meat." After Hua Chunhua finished speaking, Zhao Xinhui picked up a few pieces of old turtle meat from the bottom of the bowl. The meat had already been stewed by Zhao Yun until it was soft and tender. The taste in her mouth was even more praiseworthy. Compared to the soft and tender chicken soup, the old turtle meat was slightly more chewy and tasted very good. After a while, Zhao Xinhui finished all the meat and drank half of the soup. Her stomach was already bloated. Seeing that there wasn't much old turtle soup left in the bowl, Hua Chunhua asked, "Aren't you going to drink the rest of the soup?" Zhao Xinhui rubbed her round belly and said, "Mother, how can I finish such a big bowl of soup in one go? I'm already full." Hua Chunhua smiled. "That's true. Then, if you want to drink it, mother will drink the rest." Zhao Xinhui was very full at this moment. She waved her hand and said, "Mother, if you don't mind my saliva, you can drink it." Hua Chunhua smiled and said, "What are you talking about, little girl? Mother can dislike anyone, but I won't dislike my own daughter. Besides, it's such a waste if I don't drink such delicious soup. Mother should drink it." Chapter 1912. Even if she couldn't finish the rest of the old turtle soup, couldn't she have saved it for tonight? Why did she have to drink it all at once? However, Zhao Xinhui didn't say this to Hua Chunhua. Since Hua Chunhua wanted to drink it, then let her drink it. Anyway, she had enough for this meal. Hua Chunhua stretched her nose and sniffed the bowl, then muttered, "It smells so good." Then, Hua Chunhua gulped down the rest of the old turtle soup. Seeing Hua Chunhua drinking the soup, Zhao Xinhui couldn't help but frown. She felt that Hua Chunhua was too disgusting. Just drink the soup. Why did she have to make such an expression? It was as if she hadn't drunk it before. She looked so disgusting and sour. Hua Chunhua probably drank too much and drank too quickly. Suddenly, she burped and the turbid air in her stomach sprayed onto Zhao Xinhui's face. Zhao Xinhui was almost disgusted by Hua Chunhua. She complained unhappily to Hua Chunhua, "Mother, what are you doing? It stinks, it stinks." Hua Chunhua's expression was extremely unsightly. She tugged at the corner of her mouth and said with a smile, Why do you dislike your mother? Mother couldn't hold it in and spat it on your face." Zhao Xinhui glared at Hua Chunhua. "Mother, you still have the nerve to say that. Why didn't you spit it somewhere else? Why did you have to spit it on my face? I don't understand." Hua Chunhua explained awkwardly, "Mother didn't expect it to be so smelly. I thought that after drinking the soup, the air I spat out would be the fragrance of the soup." Zhao Xinhui was almost disgusted by Hua Chunhua. Why didn't her mother have any self-awareness? She would only be happy if someone exposed her. "Mother, how many times has it been? Don't you know that your mouth stinks?" Zhao Xinhui complained angrily. Hua Chunhua hurriedly coaxed, all right. Don't be angry. It's Mother's fault this time. Next time, I'll definitely bear with it. I'll definitely not spit on your face." Zhao Xinhui snorted and ignored Hua Chunhua. Hua Chunhua felt even more embarrassed. Finally, she said, You should rest well in your room. Mother will go out and wash the bowl. Later, I will return it to your third brother and third sister-in-law." After all, she didn't just get it from Zhao Yun's house. It was enough to drink the soup. She didn't care for a bowl. Just as he was about to go out, he heard Zhao Yun's voice outside. Zhao Yun's face darkened. When she arrived at old Zhao's courtyard, she yelled at Hua Chunhua. Hua Chunhua's heart thumped. She thought, it's over. Zhao Yun definitely wouldn't have a good time if she came looking for her. She didn't know how Zhao Yun would make a fuss with him later. Zhao Xinhui also frowned. "Mother, why is this Yunner lass here to make a fuss again? It can't be because of the soup you just brought back, right?" Hua Chunhua said somewhat guiltily, "It can't be. You, third brother, and third sister-in-law were all there at that time. Those two dead men actually didn't stop Yunner lass. Mother, you still have the nerve to say that. You must have taken advantage of Zhao Yunner's absence to make the soup. Great, now she's come looking for us again. Lass, didn't Mother bring the soup back for you? If it wasn't to nourish your body, who would go to the first branch to get something to eat?" Chapter 1913. Zhao Xinhui abruptly shirked all of her responsibilities, which made Hua Chunhua feel a little disappointed. Towards this daughter of hers, she had treated her well wholeheartedly, but Zhao Xinhui's attitude was indifferent. She pushed her out at the most critical moment. How could she care about their friendship at all? Her sadness was only temporary. Hua Chunhua still treated Zhao Xinhui wholeheartedly. After all, she only had one daughter. If she didn't treat Zhao Xinhui well, who else could she treat well? Mother, I'll go out for a while, Hua Chunhua said and went out of the room. As soon as she went out, she saw Zhao Yun's angry face. Where's my soup? Zhao Yun directly asked. Hua Chunhua also said with a cold face, it's already finished. With that, Hua Chunhua took out the bowl and waved it in front of Zhao Yun. Looking at the bowl without a drop of soup left, Zhao Yun suddenly became angry. This Hua Chunhua was really interesting. She really drank all of it. She only brought it back for a short while and finished it. She was really interesting. It doesn't matter if you finished it. You can't drink it for free. Give me the money. How could Zhao Yun let Hua Chunhua go so easily? Since she couldn't get the thing, she might as well ask for the money early. Anyway, she couldn't let this damned old woman take advantage of her. Otherwise, she would think that he was easy to bully. Next time, she would treat him as a robber. When Hua Chunhua heard Zhao Yun say that she wanted money, she immediately became angry. You damned girl, what are you talking about? Didn't I just drink some soup? You still want money? I raised your father. Can't you give me something to show filial piety? Zhao Yun coldly said, I don't want to say it again. If you don't take out 100 copper coins, I'll go to the government and sue you. What's the difference between you and a thief if you take someone's things without their permission? When Hua Chunhua heard that Zhao Yun wanted 100 copper coins, her face immediately sank. If he said that she was a thief, then what was the difference between Zhao Yun and a blackmailer? How could that bowl of soup be worth 100 copper coins? If it were up to her, it would at most be 30 or 40 copper coins, the price of a chicken. Zhao Yun, on the other hand, suddenly dropped by 100. Asking for it from her was equivalent to fighting with her. Damned girl, where would I get 100 copper coins to give you? Don't even think about it, Hua Chunhua said angrily. Her tough attitude told Zhao Yun that she would never take out the 100 yuan. Zhao Yun sneered, Grandmother, there's no point in saying it a third time. You really refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Then don't blame me for being impolite. As Zhao Yun said, she pinched her 2 fingers together, making a crisp sound. Seeing that Zhao Yun's fist was about to hit her, Hua Chunhua's eyes showed a touch of panic. You damned girl, are you going to hit your elders? My God, I raised such a daughter in vain. I'm too lazy to talk to you. Zhao Yun rolled her eyes at Hua Chunhua. Before the fist hit Hua Chunhua's body, a miserable cry came from Zhao Xinhui's room. Mother, mother. Zhao Xinhui cried out in alarm, as if something big had happened. Hua Chunhua hurriedly turned her head and shouted back to Zhao Xinhui, What's wrong, girl, what's wrong? Mother, my stomach hurts. It hurts so much. Zhao Xinhui's voice sounded even more miserable. What's wrong, why does your stomach suddenly hurt? Hua Chunhua's face was full of confusion. Chapter 1914. Zhao Xinhui continued to cry out in pain, It hurts, mother, it hurts so much. When Hua Chunhua came closer to take a look, she realized that something was amiss. There was a faint smell of blood in the air. Where did this smell come from? Hua Chunhua frowned and stretched her nose to sniff. She realized that the smell was coming from Zhao Xinhui's body. Could it be that her was injured? But that didn't seem right either. Why was injured when she was perfectly fine? She was sitting perfectly fine in the room. It wasn't as if she had fallen and hurt herself. Could it be that her previous wound had ruptured? Was she bleeding? Hua Chunhua hurriedly lifted Zhao Xinhui's clothes to check where Zhao Xinhui was injured. It didn't matter if she didn't look, but when she did, Hua Chunhua was shocked, because Zhao Xinhui's lower body was bleeding a lot. It looked like a sign of a miscarriage. Hua Chunhua panicked. Why was this happening all of a sudden? Even if she had a miscarriage, it would have happened when she was beaten up. Why was she suddenly having a miscarriage? What exactly is going on? Hua Chuanhua's lips trembled as she muttered. Because of the blood, Hua Chuanhua's face turned pale for a moment. Mother, what's wrong? Zhao Xinhui gritted her teeth and asked while enduring the pain. Hui, lass, were you injured just now? Did you fall off the bed? Hua Chuanhua asked. No. Mother, the bed is so big. How could I fall off? Zhao Xinhui replied unhappily. Then what's going on? Hua Chuanhua muttered. The more she looked, the more she felt that something was amiss. Zhao Xinhui felt that Hua Chuanhua's words were strange. She didn't know what she was talking about, so she lowered her head and looked down. It was fine if she didn't look, but when she did, she was shocked. The bottom of his pants were stained with blood. It was a ghastly sight. Zhao Xinhui was curious about what had happened to him. Why was there so much blood flowing down there? Mother, my stomach hurts even more. Zhao Xinhui said with a bitter face. He was so scared that he almost cried. Hua Chuanhua mumbled, it's over. She's probably going to have a miscarriage. She won't be able to keep the baby. Mother, if we can't keep the child, we really won't be able to return to the Huang estate in the future. Zhao Xinhui said with a sad face. How could Hua Chuanhua not know? Keeping the child would at least give him something to remember. In the future, if he could acknowledge his ancestors, Zhao Xinhui would have a chance to return to the Huang estate. The pitiful child was gone. How could a heartless man think about Zhao Xinhui again? For a moment, Hua Chuanhua's heart turned cold. What she cared about was not only the rest of her daughter's life, but more importantly, the money that she could take in her own hands. If Zhao Xinhui didn't return to the Huang estate, they could only spend and not have any income. Who knew if something big would happen in the future and they would run out of money? Zhao Xinhui urged Hua Chuanhua in dissatisfaction. Mother, why are you still in a daze? Aren't you going to find a doctor for me? Hua Chuanhua quickly responded, Okay. Mother will go find a doctor to take a look at you. Don't be afraid. With Mother here, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Hua Chuanhua said and ran out of the room. She wanted to quickly call Dr. Sun over. Chapter 1915. Hua Chuanhua thought that her pair of short legs would definitely not be able to outrun Zhao Wentao, so it was better to let Zhao Wentao run over and call Dr. Sun over. He would definitely be faster than her. So Hua Chuanhua ran in front of Zhao Wentao, grabbed Zhao Wentao's collar, and said to Zhao Wentao, Fourth brother, hurry up and go to Dr. Sun's house and call Dr. Sun over. Zhao Wentao frowned and asked, Mother, what's the matter? What happened again? Why do I have to call Dr. Sun over? Hua Chuanhua replied with a worried face, It's your little sister. Your little sister seems to be having a miscarriage. She's bleeding down there now. I have to call Dr. Sun over quickly. Otherwise, I'm afraid that she won't be able to keep the child in her belly. After listening to Hua Chuanhua's words, a touch of worry suddenly appeared on Zhao Wentao's face. However, he calmed down and comforted Hua Chuanhua, Mother, don't worry. I'll go and call Dr. Sun over, go quickly. Don't waste a moment. Hua Chuanhua urged. Okay, Mother. Zhao Wentao immediately turned around and rushed out of the courtyard, while Hua Chuanhua continued to stomp her feet anxiously. Hua Chuanhua clasped her hands together and murmured to the sky, May the heavens protect us. Please don't let anything happen to our Hui. You must bless our Hui, to be safe and sound. It's best that nothing happens to the baby in her belly. Zhao Yun, who was standing at the side, was very curious. Zhao Xinhui actually had a miscarriage. It was simply unexpected. After thinking about it, Zhao Yun, suddenly widened her eyes and realized something. Although old turtle soup was a nourishing thing, it was only for normal people. It was indeed not suitable for some groups of people. It was not suitable for people with indigestion or pregnant women with weak spleen and stomach. If a pregnant woman ate it, it could cause a miscarriage. It just so happened that Zhao Xinhui was pregnant this time. Hu Chunhua must have brought back the old turtle soup and fed it to Zhao Xinhui. That was why Zhao Xinhui lost a lot of blood and had to have a miscarriage. Thinking of this, Zhao Yun'er trembled with fear. He had been too careless. Fortunately, it was Hu Chunhua who took away the old turtle soup, and not a single drop was left. Otherwise, she would definitely let Liang Jinxiao drink it. Once Liang Jinxiao drank it, would she have a miscarriage like Zhao Xinhui? Perhaps the heavens had purposely arranged for Hu Chunhua to go over and help his mother avoid a calamity. Originally, Zhao Yun'er was still distressed about the bowl of old turtle soup. Now, he only felt that he had thrown a hot potato to someone else. Otherwise, the consequences of drinking the old turtle soup would be unimaginable. Since that was the case, he would no longer pursue Hu Chunhua on this matter. After hearing Hu Chunhua's cries, the rest of old Zhao's family ran out of the house and asked about the situation. Feng Zhangxie comforted, "Mother, don't worry too much. Little sister will definitely be blessed by the heavens. Nothing will happen to her." Hu Chunhua did not think that anything would happen, but it was obviously impossible. She was anxious and kept muttering in her heart, "It's over." Qian Zhonghu could not help but sigh and said with some sympathy, "Little sister has been so pitiful recently. So many things happened one after another, and now she might have a miscarriage. I don't know what to do." Chapter 19:16. After listening to Li Chueying's words, Qian Zhurong felt that it was very reasonable. "Okay, second sister-in-law, let's buy some things and go to the temple to pray to the Bodhisattva. I hope that our family won't get into trouble in the future." "Yes, yes." Hu Chunhua wasn't in the mood to listen to her sisters-in-law. Instead, she was looking forward to Dr. Sun coming over to see how Zhao Xinhui was doing. After a while, she saw that Dr. Sun was late. Dr. Sun's expression was also very heavy. He felt strange. Why did old Zhao's family call him over so frequently? When she caught a glimpse of Dr. Sun, Hu Chunhua rushed to Dr. Sun, grabbed his sleeve, and dragged him into the room. "Dr. Sun, please help me take a look at my daughter, Hui-er." Dr. Sun pulled his sleeve and said indifferently, "Why are you in such a hurry? If something happens, it's not something that can be solved in a short time. Can't you calm down?" "Dr. Sun, I'm worried because something big happened to my daughter." "I don't see you being so worried about your son." Dr. Sun scolded. "Dr. Sun, I only have one daughter and several sons. It's nothing to be worried about." Dr. Sun stopped talking. Anyway, it was the first time he saw someone who cared about their daughter but not their son. It was understandable that they only had one daughter. When they arrived at the room, they found Zhao Xinhui lying on the bed. He was holding his belly and his face looked even paler. Hu Chunhua felt distressed when she saw him. Dr. Sun calmly walked to Zhao Xinhui and took Zhao Xinhui's pulse. After taking his pulse, Dr. Sun's expression became very solemn. Then, he sighed faintly. When she saw Dr. Sun like this, she knew that something bad must have happened. She asked nervously, "Dr. Sun, how is my daughter? Is she okay?" "Okay? How can she be okay? Can't you see that she's bleeding so much?" "I see it, but Dr. Sun. How is my daughter, Hui-er?" Dr. Sun glanced at Zhao Xinhui and said in a deep voice, "Sir, get some medicine and recuperate for a while. She should be fine. However, I can't keep the child in my belly. It can't be, right?" Hu Chunhua suddenly became anxious. She was even more worried because she couldn't keep the baby. "Is there no other way to save the child?" "Dr. Sun, this is my family's Hui-er's first child. It's very important. You have to help her think of a way." Dr. Sun said faintly, "If I can think of a way, how can I not save him?" Auntie Zhao, I know you're anxious, but you can't be so anxious that you don't care about anything, right? Hu Chunhua had a bitter expression on her face. Didn't Dr. Sun mean that there was really no hope for her Hui-er? Thus, he shouted at the top of his lungs, Hui-er, your life is really bitter. Dr. Sun got up and said to Hu Chunhua, okay, don't cry. Let her rest well. Don't delay the patient's rest. I'll prescribe some medicine for you to nurse her back to health. Today's medicine costs 750 copper coins in total. Pay it now. On one hand, Hu Chunhua felt sorry for Zhao Xinhui. On the other hand, she also felt sorry for spending so much money. Chapter 1917. Once you get the medicine, quickly boil it and eat it. Your daughter's injury can't be delayed, Dr. Sun instructed. Okay. Hu Chunhua hurriedly responded. Before Dr. Sun left, Hu Chunhua asked, Dr. Sun, you haven't told me why my little girl Hui-er suddenly became like this? She didn't bump into anything, didn't she? Why did she suddenly have a miscarriage? Speaking of this, Dr. Sun was silent for a moment before he finally said, I'm not particularly sure, but in my opinion, she must have eaten something that she shouldn't have eaten, which caused the miscarriage. Hu Chunhua's brows knitted together again, and her expression was very solemn. Something that she shouldn't have eaten? Dr. Sun nodded. Sometimes, eating something that she shouldn't have eaten can easily lead to a miscarriage. It's not suitable for pregnant women. Hu Chunhua thought about what Zhao Xinhui had eaten today. He had porridge and eggs in the morning, and he usually ate them, so there shouldn't be any problems. If there was a problem, then it could only be the old turtle soup that was given to Zhao Xinhui later. Otherwise, she really couldn't think of what Zhao Xinhui had eaten. Then it must be that bowl of soup. Hu Chunhua's lips trembled as she muttered. Mother, it's all your fault. Zhao Xinhui clutched his stomach and looked at Hu Chunhua hatefully. I was fine, but you insisted on making me a bowl of soup to drink. Now, are you satisfied? My good child is gone because of you. Hu Chunhua had an innocent expression on her face as she hurriedly waved her hand and explained, Mother didn't know that there was something wrong with the soup. It can't be given to pregnant women, otherwise, Mother would never have made it for you. Zhao Xinhui's chest was stuffed with anger. Mother, what's the use of saying this now? The child is gone, so there's no point in talking about this anymore. Hu Chunhua sighed heavily. She was afraid that Zhao Xinhui would get angry and hurt her body, so she hurriedly comforted Zhao Xinhui. All right, Zhao Xinhui, rest well. Your body needs to recuperate. Mother is going to find Yuner to settle accounts. It's all because of her soup. Zhao Xinhui's body was indeed very weak right now. He didn't have the time to argue with Hu Chunhua. Lying on the bed, cold sweat broke out on his forehead, but he had no choice but to endure it. Hu Chunhua rushed out of the courtyard angrily and pushed all the blame to Zhao Yuner. Initially, she felt a little guilty about Zhao Xinhui's miscarriage. She didn't feel guilty about Zhao Xinhui and Hu Chunhua. She only felt guilty about the unborn child in Zhao Xinhui's belly. After all, it was a life. An adult's actions shouldn't fall on the child's head. She should cherish the child's life. Hu Chunhua rushed out and pointed at Zhao Yuner's nose, scolding, You wretched girl, did you deliberately call your aunt? Why did you cook such a pot of soup? It's clearly inedible. If a pregnant woman eats it, it's easy for her to miscarry, but you still made it. Today, your aunt's child is gone, and it's all because of your soup. So you have to give my wife an explanation. Zhao Yuner saw that Hu Chunhua was like a crazy woman, and a cold look flashed in her eyes. Did this wretched old woman really think that she was easy to bully? Grandmother, how do you want me to be responsible? Zhao Yuner's words implied that this matter had nothing to do with her. However, Hu Chunhua heard it as Zhao Yuner's request for compensation. Chapter 1918. In the Great Zhou country, human trafficking was considered quite frequent. Normal poor families would sell their children and women. These people were basically sold to large families as slaves or maids. There were also some women who were sold to poor families as wives. Depending on the situation, a person's life did indeed cost 30 silver coins. In terms of the amount of money, Hu Chunhua didn't extort her, but Zhao Yun still felt it was strange. This Hu Chunhua really blamed the miscarried child on her head, and now she wanted her to pay for it. Hu Chunhua felt that other than paying for it, she had no other way to settle this debt with Zhao Yun. If the child was miscarried, then so be it, she couldn't make the child appear again. So what if she beat up Zhao Yun and took care of her? Didn't she not get any benefits at all? It was better to directly ask Zhao Yun for 30 silver coins. With the money, she could buy more delicious food for Zhao Xinhui to nourish her body. Zhao Yun gave a soft snort and said, "Grandmother, your shamelessness is quite strong. If you didn't mention this soup, I wouldn't have settled this debt with you. You acted on your own initiative and stole the soup from me. After giving it to little aunt, you put the blame on me. If you want to talk about responsibility, it should be on your head. I don't care, Zhao Yun, you have to take responsibility for this matter today. How could the child in your little aunt's stomach be miscarried for nothing?" Hu Chunhua's attitude was very firm. It was a pity that this old woman was too simple. Did she think that this would make things difficult for her and she would compromise? Zhao Yun coldly mocked, "Grandmother, to say something unpleasant, a person needs face and a tree needs its bark. Don't think about throwing away your shamelessness every day. I won't take responsibility for this matter and you should pay me back instead. Based on what can you take away my family's soup? You damned girl, you're still so stubborn." Hu Chunhua was so angry that she gritted her teeth. She wanted to go forward and give Zhao Yun a few slaps, but she was no match for Zhao Yun. Qian Zhozha and Li Chuiying watched from the side and finally understood what was going on. It turned out that Hu Chunhua stole the turtle soup from Zhao Yun and gave it to Zhao Xinhui. Unfortunately, the soup was not suitable for pregnant women, so Zhao Xinhui became like this after drinking it. Therefore, this matter was still Hu Chunhua's fault. How could she settle the score with the person who stole something from her? This was not justifiable at all. Thus, Qian Zhozha persuaded Hu Chunhua, "Mother, this matter really isn't Yun'er's fault. Why don't we stop arguing and let it go?" After hearing Qian Zhozha's words, Hu Chunhua glared at Qian Zhozha. "What kind of black-hearted person are you? Helping a damned girl? If it's not her fault, then do you mean it's my fault?" Qian Zhozha was a little helpless. She was just speaking the truth, but Hu Chunhua still scolded her like this. How could there be such a person? "Mother, I think fourth sister-in-law is right. This matter really isn't Yun'er's fault. No one knew that this would happen. It was an accident that the child in my younger sister's stomach was gone. No one wanted to see that." Li Chuiying glanced at Qian Zhozha sympathetically, then continued to help. Qian Zhozha hurriedly responded, "Yes, yes, yes, mother. This matter was an accident. How could Hu Chunhua not know? She was just unwilling to let Zhao Yun off so easily." Chapter 1919. Zhao Yun sneered, "Grandma, shouldn't you be the one having nightmares?" "Why would I have nightmares? Did I force you to steal this soup for my aunt to drink? Don't you know who's responsible for the miscarriage? It's you. Grandma, this child is too innocent. If you ask me, I'm guessing that she'll be haunting you in the future." After hearing Zhao Yun's words, Hu Chunhua was indeed frightened by Zhao Yun. This wretched girl was actually scaring her. Hu Chunhua's body trembled violently at the thought of a vengeful soul coming for her life. In her heart, she secretly prayed for Bodhisattva's protection. Don't let Zhao Yun's crow's mouth come true. Although she was old, she was still afraid of death. At the same time, she also prayed silently to Zhao Xinhui's miscarriage that she didn't do it on purpose, so please don't make trouble for her. The quarrel in old Zhao's courtyard attracted the attention of the surrounding neighbors. Many people came forward to see what interesting things were happening in old Zhao's house. Normally, there was nothing to pass the time. Whenever there was a commotion, the villagers would try their best to get involved, just like watching TV in the 21st century. Ah, Auntie Zhao's face is black with anger. What's going on? Auntie Wang gossiped. Auntie Zhang's courtyard was close to old Zhao's, so she could vaguely hear some of the conversation while standing in her own courtyard. It seems that Auntie Zhao's youngest daughter had a miscarriage and drank the soup cooked by Yuner. Ah, that's a serious matter. Although the child hasn't been born yet, it's still half a life, right? It's normal for Auntie Zhao's eyes to turn red with anger when this happened. Since it was Yuner who cooked the soup, then he should take some responsibility and compensate for it. Auntie Zhang added, but I just heard that Auntie Zhao went to steal Yuner's soup. She didn't expect this to happen after drinking it. When Auntie Zhang said this, the onlooking neighbors hurriedly said, if that's the case, you can't blame Yuner. Who told her to steal it herself? Stealing is a mistake. How can you have the face to ask someone to take responsibility for it? AI, isn't that so? She was fine and didn't ask you to steal. You stole it yourself. Even if you drank yourself to death, you wouldn't be able to find her. This Auntie Zhao's character is too bad. Putting aside the fact that she has done such things, she's even acting like this now. Yuner is so pitiful. Because you're used to being unreasonable. How can we reason with him now? AI, that's why I said Yuner is pitiful. I'm on Yuner's side in this matter. I'm also on Yuner's side. Disasters can be forgiven, but disasters brought on by oneself are the hardest to bear. She caused the death of her daughter's unborn child. Why should she blame others? That's right. The villagers chattered. After figuring out the cause and effect of the matter, they all began to blame Hua Chunhua. Hua Chunhua stood in the yard, feeling a little embarrassed. The villagers were really nosy. What did old Zhao's matter have to do with others? What right did they have to criticize? You gossipy old women, get out of here. Don't crowd around my door. Hua Chunhua was so angry that she took a broom to chase them away. Chapter 1920. I have the final say on my family's land. Scram, scram, scram. Hua Chunhua continued to urge them impatiently. This caused the surrounding villagers to feel disgusted again. Auntie Zhao, you can't be unreasonable. Even if you're flustered and exasperated, you can't vent your anger on us, right? We're all from the same village, so it's normal for us to visit each other. If you don't let us stand at your house today, don't come to our house in the future. The other villagers echoed, that's right. At most, we won't come to your house in the future. Don't loiter in front of our house in the future. Otherwise, we'll definitely chase you out. Hua Chunhua was also someone who liked to join in the fun. She liked to follow other people when something happened. If she couldn't go to other people's houses in the future, she would be bored to death by being cooped up in her own courtyard all day. After thinking about this, she resentfully put away the broom in her hand and stopped chasing people away. Not long after, Zhao Baoshan also returned. When Zhao Baoshan saw so many people gathered in the courtyard, he knew that something must have happened at home. The moment he returned, he asked with a sullen expression, "Old woman, what's going on? Why are there so many people here?" Hua Chunhua snorted softly. How could she have the nerve to bring it up when the villagers were berating her like this? Zhao Yun glanced at Zhao Baoshan indifferently. She knew that in old Zhao's house, Zhao Baoshan was much more tactful and reasonable than Hua Chunhua. Thus, she told Zhao Baoshan everything that had happened. When Zhao Baoshan heard that Zhao Xinhui had lost her child, his expression turned ugly. Although he didn't like Zhao Xinhui very much, she was his only daughter after all. He doted on her very much when she was young. Zhao Xinhui was already pitiful enough after being abandoned by young Master Huang. Now that she even lost her child, she really suffered a lot during this period. Seeing Zhao Baoshan's dark face, Hu Chunhua was a little worried. She was afraid that Zhao Baoshan would put the blame on her. Old man. Hu Chunhua called out weakly with a guilty conscience. Zhao Baoshan glared fiercely at Hu Chunhua and scolded, "You're so silly. Look at what you've done at your age. You still have the nerve to say that second brother is doing such sneaky things? Aren't you the same? If the upper beam is crooked, the lower beam will be crooked. She didn't do a good job, yet she liked to criticize others. I was wondering who my second son resembled. It turns out that he learned your skills." Zhao Wenshui was also watching from the side. When he heard his father's words, he nodded and praised him at first, but after hearing what his father said, he felt that something was wrong. Was his father criticizing his mother, or was his father criticizing him as well? Hu Chunhua was even more at a loss after being scolded by Zhao Baoshan. She muttered weakly, "Old man, isn't this for our Hui, She needs to nourish her body well." Coincidentally, she went to third brother's house and stewed some soup. What's wrong with me bringing it back for Hui, to nourish her body? Who knew that something like this would happen? If you ask me, it's third brother's fault. Clearly, there was something wrong with the soup, but he didn't remind me and let me give it to Hui, Zhao Baoshan almost spat fire from his nose. Look at this, you still have the nerve to say such things at this time. You don't know how to repent. Your skin is getting thicker and thicker. Not only did you steal, you even want to push the blame to the third branch. Chapter 1921. Old man, I. Hu Chunhua was a little ashamed of being lectured by Zhao Baoshan. She didn't admit her mistake in her heart, but it wasn't good to scold her in front of so many people, right? Zhao Baoshan glanced coldly at Hu Chunhua. "If you have the time to argue with Yuner, why don't you go and check on Hui's situation? You're always distracted." Xian Zhonghuai also hurriedly pulled Hu Chunhua and said, "Mother, you should go and check on little sister quickly. Don't continue to argue. Little sister is the most important. By the way, Dr. Sun's medicine also needs to be boiled quickly for little sister to drink." Speaking of this, Hu Chunhua's expression changed. At this time, she really should pay more attention to Zhao Xinhui. Then I won't argue with Yuner. I'm going to check on Hui, Hu Chunhua muttered. Zhao Yuner felt very strange. Although Zhao Baoshan was more reasonable and helped her reprimand Hu Chunhua's attitude made her unhappy. How could it be so easy to leave as she wished? "Grandmother, you're in the wrong today. No matter what, you have to apologize to me, right? Isn't it a little inappropriate to just leave like this?" Hu Chunhua furrowed her brows and replied angrily, "What are you talking about, girl? I've already left and you're still arguing with me. I'm your grandmother. How can you treat your elders like this? How can an elder apologize to a younger generation? Don't push your luck. I'm pushing my luck. Don't I need to apologize for doing something wrong?" Zhao Yuner asked coldly. The surrounding villagers couldn't stand it and criticized Hu Chunhua. "Aunt Zhao is really interesting. What's wrong with apologizing to Yuner when you're not in the right? She's so angry. Yun is so pitiful. She has such an elder. She's taking advantage of her seniority. Who does she think she is?" Not only did Hu Chunhua feel embarrassed, but Zhao Baoshan also felt embarrassed. Zhao Baoshan urged Hu Chunhua, "Old woman, it's your fault. Apologize to Yuner now." Hu Chunhua reluctantly apologized to Zhao Yuner. Okay. Yuner, it's my fault. I'll apologize to you and apologize, okay?" After saving her face, Zhao Yuner glanced at Hu Chunhua with her sharp eyes and said, "Since you know you're in the wrong, then let's forget about it. But I hope you'll watch your mouth in the future. Don't slander others and falsely accuse a good person." Hu Chunhua gritted her teeth and agreed. This wretched girl. She would definitely settle the score with her later. She was so angry. After Hu Chunhua went into the house, Zhao Baoshan walked to Zhao Yuner and said to Zhao Yuner, "Yuner, it's your grandmother's fault. Don't argue with her. We're a family. She's just too anxious when something so serious happened to your aunt." Zhao Yuner replied indifferently, "Grandmother, you don't have to tell me. If there's nothing else, I'll go back first." Seeing Zhao Yuner's departing figure, Zhao Baoshan's face was full of helplessness. At this time, he was most worried about Zhao Xinhui's situation. He and Hu Chunhua were worried about different things. Hu Chunhua was worried about Zhao Xinhui's health, while Zhao Baoshan was worried about Zhao Xinhui's future. Chapter 1922. He didn't care about having more food to eat, but he felt that it was inconvenient in many places. Putting everything else aside, Hu Chunhua still had to serve this daughter of his like an ancestor every day. He didn't know when Zhao Xinhui would be sensible. The originally noisy old Zhao's courtyard quieted down because of Zhao Yuner's departure, and the villagers went back in twos and threes. When Zhao Yuner rushed home, Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao were worried and asked about Zhao Yuner's situation. "Yuner, did you and your grandmother cause too much trouble?" "Not much. But this time, we have to thank her for scooping up all the soup in our pot." Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao were puzzled, and Zhao Yuner told them what had happened. After listening to Zhao Yuner's explanation, Zhao Wenhua patted his chest in fear and muttered, "Thank goodness, thank goodness. If your mother drank it, the child in your mother's belly would be miscarried." Zhao Yuner responded faintly. Liang Jinxiao felt a little guilty. "Yuner's father, although that's what you said, the child in my aunt's belly is still a child. Aren't you using her child to exchange for my child? I feel very guilty." Zhao Yuner knew that Liang Jinxiao was a kind person. He couldn't bear to hurt small animals, let alone an innocent child. If she didn't comfort Liang Jinxiao well, this matter would probably always be in his heart. Zhao Yuner comforted her. "Mother, this soup was supposed to be drunk by us, but my grandmother came and snatched it away. We couldn't stop her. Now that my aunt's child is gone, it's my grandmother's fault. It has nothing to do with you. In my opinion, this matter was arranged by God to let mother keep the child in her womb and let little aunt lose her life." Zhao Wenhua also hurriedly chimed in, "Yes, yes, yes. Yuner's mother, Yuner is right. This matter was arranged by God. God wants to protect the child in your belly." Liang Jinxiao still could not let it go and asked, "Is that really the case?" "Of course. Mother, many things were arranged by the heavens. Otherwise, how could today's situation be so coincidental? Perhaps God doesn't want Auntie to keep the baby in her belly." Liang Jinxiao sighed faintly and said, "Yuner, no matter what, your aunt has lost her child. After all, we are related to each other. She was the one who saved me. In the future, I have to send her some food to nourish her body." Zhao Yuner patted Liang Jinxiao's shoulder comfortingly and said, "Mother, I know. I will send some food to Auntie to nourish her body." Seeing that Zhao Xinhui had saved her from a disaster, she was not stingy with some food. This was to make Liang Jinxiao feel less guilty. However, she was afraid that Zhao Xinhui would not dare to eat casually anymore. This matter should be able to teach old Zhao's family a lesson. Mu Lianfeng prepared to go back to the Shitzi mansion because it was going to be the Dragon Boat Festival. Every year during the Dragon Boat Festival, he would spend it with Matriarch Mu. After all, he was the only one left in the Mu family. If he did not accompany Matriarch Mu, then Matriarch Mu would have to spend the Dragon Boat Festival alone in the Shitzi mansion. Mu Lianfeng, who usually paid attention to filial piety, naturally would not let this happen. Previously, he had been avoiding Matriarch Mu and had not returned to the Mu mansion for a long time. Now, he should go back and take a look. Chapter 1923. He knew that old Madame Mu didn't agree before, so this matter had been delayed. Now that the emperor had granted the marriage, even old Madame Mu had no room to object. So now he could take Zhao Yun back. As a man, even if Zhao Yun never said it, she might not care. But for a man, he must give his wife and children a proper identity. With the marriage granted by the emperor and Daodu as her son, old Madame Mu wouldn't be too embarrassed. When the time came, he would take Zhao Yun and Daodu back to accompany old Madame Mu to celebrate the Dragon Boat Festival, and let the old lady experience the joy of 4 generations living under the same roof. With such a true feeling, old Madame Mu would be more willing to accept Zhao Yun. Mu Lianfeng and Zhao Yun discussed this matter, and Zhao Yun didn't object. Old Madame Mu was dissatisfied with her because of her identity, and this was the way the society was. It wasn't old Madame Mu's unique view. After all, she was Mu Lianfeng's biological grandmother. Since she was with Mu Lianfeng, she had to accept Mu Lianfeng's family. The two of them prepared for a while and went back in 2 days. Before Zhao Yun went to the Shitzi mansion, she brought some small gifts. Knowing that the Shitzi mansion didn't lack gold, silver, silk, satin, and all kinds of delicacies, Zhao Yun brought some special things that were made by herself. They were all treasures in the mountains. She didn't eat them on normal days, so she brought them to old Madame Mu. Before Zhao Yun left for the Shitzi mansion, the people of the Tian family came over. This time, the Tian family didn't come empty-handed to Zhao Yun's house. They brought some vegetables, some eggs, and some fresh fruits. The fruits were from their own fruit trees. The peaches and plums looked good. However, when the Tian family came, the 3rd branch didn't welcome them. The marriage that had been agreed upon with the Tian family was cancelled by the Tian family because Zhao Yun was pregnant before marriage. Although others felt that it was normal and reasonable for the Tian family to withdraw from the engagement, no one used the Tian family's withdrawal as an excuse. But for Zhao Yun at that time, it could be said to be one disaster after another. At that time, the 3rd branch was very embarrassed and humiliated. Since then, Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao had treated the Tian family as their enemy. How could they be nice to the Tian family? After 3 years, he had almost forgotten about the Tian family. Who would have thought that these people would be so thick-skinned as to come knocking on his door? Zhao Wenhua frowned when he saw the Tian couple and Tian Wenhan coming to his house. He didn't know what they were planning to do. When the Tian family saw Zhao Yun's 10 brick houses, they were deeply shocked. They came to the village today to ask around. Soon, they found out where Zhao Yun's new residence was and rushed over. Others might not have a direct impression of it, but when he saw it with his own eyes, he finally understood what it meant to be imposing. There were only a few houses like Zhao Yun's house in the surrounding villages. Only rich landlords could afford it. This house cost at least a few hundred taels. It could be imagined how rich Zhao Yun's family was now. After seeing Zhao Yun's new house, the Wu clan was even more determined to let Tian Wenhan marry Zhao Yun. When Zhao Yun came back with them, their family would also build a big house. In this way, she could live in a big, spacious, and comfortable brick house like the 3rd branch. "What are you doing here?" Zhao Wenhua asked unhappily, as if he wanted to drive them away. Chapter 1924. Just now, he was shocked by Zhao Yun's house. He was so fascinated that he didn't recover from it. Seeing Zhao Wenhua's displeased expression, the Wu clan laughed and said, "Brother Zhao, we're here today because we have something to discuss." Zhao Wenhua replied angrily, "If you have something to say, just say it. Don't waste my time. If you're done, get out of here." Facing Zhao Yunhua's attitude, the Tian couple were extremely displeased. Wasn't this clearly not putting them in their eyes? However, for the sake of today's business, the Wu clan suppressed their anger and said with a smile, "Brother Zhao, don't be angry. Our Tian family was in the wrong. I know you're angry, but we're here today to make it up to your family. While the Wu clan was talking, Liang Jinxiao came out of the house. Usually, Liang Jinxiao was gentle and didn't give others a hard time. However, when he saw the Tian family, his reaction was similar to Zhao Wenhua's. When he heard the Wu clan's words, Liang Jinxiao replied coldly, "Our family doesn't need any compensation. Hurry up and leave." Sigh. The Wu clan was a little anxious. "You haven't heard how I'm going to make it up to you. Why are you in such a hurry to chase us away? How can you do this?" His words contained his displeasure towards Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao. The Tian family had been polite enough to come over today and speak nicely to them. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao were already very polite. However, this couple was too much. "I said that we don't need any compensation. Who knows if you're here today with bad intentions? When you broke off the engagement with Yuner, our families swore not to interact with each other. Why are you here today?" Zhao Wenhua replied bluntly. Then, she picked up the broom at home and was about to chase them away. Liang Jinxiao also hoped that the Tian family would leave as soon as possible. Otherwise, it would be bad if Zhao Yuner saw them. Although Zhao Yuner had forgotten about Tian Wenhan, who knew if she would remember something after seeing him? Right now, their family and Zhao Yuner were living very well. There was no need for the Tian family to come and mess things up. When the Tian family saw the increase in Zhao Wenhua's price, they shouted, "Who are you? You're a guest. Let's not talk about how you treat them, but you can't chase them away, right? Is this how your family treats others?" Zhao Wenhua snorted and replied, "Of course we treat people politely, but it's different when it comes to dogs. Who says that we have to treat dogs politely and not chase them away?" When the Tian family heard Zhao Wenhua comparing them to dogs, they all looked very embarrassed. "Wenhan's mother, why don't we leave? They're looking down on us. We don't have to come over. Otherwise, they'll think that our Tian family is sticking to them." Tian Wenhan's father, Tian Shuinyo, was a man who cared about his reputation. Now that he was being scolded by Zhao Wenhua, how could he stand it? He tugged at the Wu clan and expressed that he wanted to leave. Although the Wu clan was angry, they were a little unwilling when they thought about Zhao Yuner's family's money. If they left, they would lose everything. Wouldn't they have come here for nothing today? "We're not leaving. Wenhan's father, have you forgotten what I told you?" Wu clan bit his lower lip and said. Chapter 1925. But with the Zhao family's attitude now, was it possible? They weren't even willing to talk to them, so how could they be willing to discuss the marriage? Tian Shuinyo had no choice but to wait and see what the Wu clan would say next. The Wu clan stepped forward and continued, "Brother Zhao, don't be angry. Let's calm down and talk. After listening to what I have to say, I promise you won't be angry anymore. At least let us finish talking. If you're still angry after we finish talking, then we'll leave, okay?" The Wu clan was sure that as long as the Tian family agreed to let Tian Wenhan marry Zhao Yuner, the Zhao family would definitely be grateful. By then, they would be overjoyed. How could they chase them away? This time, the Wu clan's attitude was good. Liang Jinxiao was also curious about what the Tian family wanted to say. Liang Jinxiao discussed with Zhao Wenhua, Yuner's father, "Why don't we let them finish talking? Let's see what they're here for." Zhao Wenhua's face darkened. After thinking for a moment, he said, "Okay, let them talk. When they're done, they'll leave quickly." The Wu clan's face was full of smiles. He hurriedly said, "It's like this. Brother Zhao, sister-in-law Zhao, didn't our Wenhan break off the engagement? I've also inquired about it. Your family's Yun hasn't remarried since then. However, there's nothing we can do about it. After all, she's a virgin and got pregnant before marriage. It's difficult for her to find another husband. But a girl has to get married eventually. She can't stay at home forever and be an old aunt, right? Today, We're here to continue discussing the marriage of the two children. Our Wenhan isn't married either. Why don't he marry Yun? Anyway, the two children were engaged back then. They're in love with each other. After the Wu clan finished speaking, Tian Wenhan hurriedly stepped forward and said to Zhao Wenhua very respectfully, Uncle Zhao, Wenhan has been obsessed with Yun for the past few years. If I can be with Yun I'll definitely treat Yun well in the future and take care of Yun I'll never let Yun down in this life. After listening to Tian Wenhan's words and seeing that Tian Wenhan was different from the Tian family, his attitude was very sincere. It could be seen that Tian Wenhan really put Zhao Yun in his heart. However, Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao only felt that the Tian family's words were funny. It was the Tian family who came to break off the engagement. Now, it was also the Tian family who came to say that they wanted to be together again. It was as if they could do whatever they wanted without considering the Zhao family's opinion. The Wu clan said, Brother Zhao, Auntie Zhao, you also know that our Wenhan is good at studying. He passed the county level long ago. It's only a matter of time before he becomes a provincial scholar. If your Yun can marry Wenhan, it'll be her fortune. She can even become the wife of an official in the future. If you miss this opportunity, you won't have another one. With Yun's qualifications, you definitely won't be able to find someone better than our Wenhan. The Wu clan's attitude was a bit high and mighty. In the eyes of Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao, they felt that their Yun was climbing up the social ladder by marrying Tian Wenhan. If it was in the past, the Zhao family might have considered accepting if the Tian family proposed a new engagement. However, Zhao Yun now had Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng's status was not something that Zhao Wenhan could compare to. Chapter 1926. Zhao Wenhua's answer was beyond the Tian couple's expectations. Even Tian Wenhan was surprised. The Wu clan didn't understand. If it were any other family, the Wu clan would have been more than happy to accept their proposal. What was with the Zhao family's reaction? Could it be that he really doesn't intend to marry Zhao Yun off? Did they want Zhao Yun to stay at home forever? How could there be parents who didn't consider their child's situation at all? Brother Zhao, sister-in-law Zhao, we came here with sincerity. You can't do this, right? You should at least listen to Yun's opinion. She has to say that she doesn't want to marry. Aren't you harming her by keeping her at home and not marrying her off? Don't tell me you want her to stay single forever and be laughed at by the villagers? The Wu clan replied unhappily. How could Zhao Yunlong not understand the faces of the Tian couple? How could the Tian family come here with sincerity for the good of the two children? They wanted the two children to be together. It was obvious that they wanted the third branch's money. If the third branch didn't have such a good life, I probably wouldn't have come to visit the Tian family. Perhaps Tian Wenhan was sincere, and the Tian couple was definitely here for the sake of money. After the Wu clan finished speaking, Zhao Yun came back with Daodu from outside the courtyard. She had heard the Wu clan's words just now and felt that it was a little funny. It seemed that in other people's eyes, she was really an unmarried old woman who was despised by others. After knowing the Wu clan's identity, Zhao Yun sneered and replied, I have the same opinion as my father. I don't want to marry. I'm really not worthy of your family, so you should go back. Hearing Zhao Yun's voice, the Tian couple and Tian Wenhan all looked at Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun was wearing a peach-pink dress. The fabric of the dress was thin, and it was most refreshing to wear in summer. Whether it was the color or the style, it was very beautiful. In addition, with Zhao Yun's slim figure and a pearl hairpin in her hair, she simply dressed up, just like a young lady of a big family, beautiful and elegant. Where was the rough appearance of a peasant girl? If she didn't say it, no one would think that Zhao Yun was from the countryside. Moreover, Zhao Yun's skin had been nourished until it was rosy and fair, making her even more attractive. The last time he saw Zhao Yun was only wearing coarse clothes because she was working. At this moment, Zhao Yun was resting at home and didn't have to do any rough work, so she wore a nice dress. It was precisely because of this that Zhao Yun'er was different from others. And beside Zhao Yun'er, there was a 3-year-old baby. The baby was also very delicate, just like a porcelain doll. He was also wearing brocade clothes, and the fabric of the clothes was very valuable. When this pair of mother and son walked out, people would think that they were a madam and a young master of a big family. The Tian family's eyes were straight. Who would have thought that Zhao Yun'er and her son would become like this? Just based on Zhao Yun'er's appearance, it was estimated that many rich people would like her. It wouldn't be difficult for her to marry again. When Tian Wenhan saw such a beautiful Zhao Yun'er, he instantly felt that he was not worthy of her. Originally, he had gathered his courage to come over, but now, he only had a guilty conscience in his heart. This is Yun'er girl? Tian Shui Niu muttered in disbelief. Chapter 1927. The Zhao family has really changed a lot compared to before. Tian Shui Niu sighed. If they had known that the Zhao family would become so prosperous one day, and that Zhao Yun would become so beautiful, their Tian family wouldn't have broken off the engagement. Zhao Yun walked to the Tian family, raised her eyebrows, and said, "What? Didn't you hear what I said? Why haven't you left yet?" Yun-er. Tian Wenhan's burning gaze fell on Zhao Yun-er, and he was reluctant to look away. His voice became a little hoarse, and when he stared at Zhao Yun-er, there was a little tenderness in his eyes. Zhao Yun-er smiled slightly as a greeting. She didn't like the Tian family couple, but Zhao Yun-er's first impression of Tian Wenhan wasn't bad. He was a gentleman. After all, Tian Wenhan had helped her before, so Zhao Yun remembered it in her heart, and wouldn't be too angry at people who helped her before. As for Tian Wenhan's involvement in breaking off the engagement, Zhao Yun didn't blame Tian Wenhan for it. In this era, parents were the ones who dictated the matchmaker's words. How many people could decide their own marriage? In the end, it was the original Zhao Yun who let her down, not her. Zhao Yun didn't have much hatred for Tian Wenhan. "Yun, girl, why don't you consider our family's Wenhan? Our family's Wenhan is so outstanding. It's your blessing that he's willing to propose marriage. If you miss this village, there won't be another shop." The Wu clan continued to ask, unwilling to give up. When Zhao Yun heard the Wu clan's words, she knew that this woman was acting like her son was the best in the world. If she married Tian Wenhan, it would be Tian Wenhan who suffered a loss. If she really married into the Tian family, she didn't know how the Wu clan would look down on her. What's there to consider? I said I don't agree, so I don't agree. No matter how good your son is, it's your business. You can find a more suitable wife. You don't have to find me at all. Zhao Yun coldly replied. The Wu clan and Tian Shui Niu looked at each other, and their eyes were filled with confusion and anger. The situation was far from what they had expected. The Zhao family actually didn't agree to this marriage. Tian Shui Niu advised, Wenhan's mother, "Since he has already said so, let's just leave. With Wenhan's qualifications, why does he have to look for the Zhao family to take the bride? Later, I'll ask the matchmaker to tell them how many good girls he can't find." However, Madame Wu stood still. She just couldn't take it lying down. Zhao Yunlong chased him away with a dark face. "Hurry up and leave. If you don't leave, don't blame me for being rude." As Zhao Yunlong spoke, he waved the broom in his hand, as if he was chasing him away. The Wu clan also had a bad temper. They stood in the courtyard and scolded, "What kind of person is this? What kind of attitude is this? This family is really strange. Our family's Wenhan is so good. It's a great favor for you to come and propose marriage. Do you really think you're so great because you have money? You think you can find someone better than our family's Wenhan because you have money? Let me tell you, that's impossible. Zhao Yun is a woman who got pregnant before marriage. Ordinary countrymen are too lazy to want her. Otherwise, she wouldn't have remained unmarried for so many years. Our family's Wenhan is a scholar. He's also handsome. You can't find anyone like him. In my opinion, when Zhao Yun is a few years older, she can only marry an old man if she wants to marry. Chapter 1928. Or maybe the Wu clan really thought that their son was not good enough for anyone. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxia were very unhappy with the Wu clan's words. Even if the Tian Wenhan was really good, they couldn't belittle Zhao Yun, just because the Tian family had rejected them. They made it sound as if Zhao Yun, was really worthless and no man was willing to marry her. However, the reality was the opposite of what the Wu clan had said. Not only did Zhao Yun have someone who was willing to marry her, but the man was also the current crown prince. The Tian Wenhan couldn't compare to such a noble man in any way. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxia were about to say something when Mu Lianfeng came back. Mu Lianfeng heard the Wu clan's words and sneered. Who said that no one wants Yun, and she can only marry an old man? Mu Lianfeng's cold voice rang out. The Tian family looked behind them and saw a tall and noble man walking over. Judging by the man's temperament and clothes, they knew that he was not an ordinary person. The Tian family looked at Mu Lianfeng curiously. They were curious about Mu Lianfeng's identity. Who was this man? While the Tian family was puzzled, Daodu called out sweetly to Mu Lianfeng, "Daddy." The Tian family was stunned. "Daddy?" Daodu called Mu Lianfeng daddy. Didn't that mean that he was Zhao Yun's man? But they didn't hear that Zhao Yun was married. How did a man appear out of nowhere? Mu Lianfeng walked over to Zhao Yun and held Zhao Yun's hand. He looked at Zhao Yun with a touch of tenderness in his eyes. Yun, this is. The Wu clan couldn't help but ask. They should at least figure out the man's identity. Before Zhao Yun could answer, Mu Lianfeng introduced himself to the Wu clan. I'm Yun's future husband. I'll marry Yun soon. So Yun will never marry your son. Of course, it's not that no one wants her. After Mu Lianfeng finished speaking, the Wu clan's eyes widened. They couldn't believe it. The man in front of them had an extraordinary identity. How could he marry a woman like Zhao Yun? Didn't he know that Zhao Yun was pregnant before she got married? Ordinary families wouldn't be willing to marry such an indecent woman, let alone rich and powerful families. After Mu Lianfeng finished speaking, Zhao Wenhua added, "Sister-in-law of the Tian family, maybe you don't know? Our Yun is going to marry Shitzi soon. The Tian family came to propose marriage, but our Zhao family really doesn't want it." Zhao Yun saw that Zhao Wenhua seemed to be doing it on purpose. It turned out that her father had a cute side. He said this to vent his anger and to show off in front of the Wu clan. After Zhao Wenhua said this, he did feel a lot better. Didn't the Tian family look down on people? Didn't they look down on their families Yun? Now, he would let them know what it meant to look down on others. No matter how powerful and well-off Tian Wenhan was, he was still far behind Mu Lianfeng. The Tian family felt that Yun was climbing up the social ladder, but they didn't expect that there was someone better behind her. Seeing the shocked faces of the Tian family, Liang Jinxiao couldn't help but cover his mouth and laugh secretly. This time, he really vented his anger. It was as if he had won back the face he had lost when the engagement was broken. This is impossible. Brother Zhao, who do you think this is? Shitzi. This is Shitzi. You're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.